Just say.
Ready? Did you get it or no?
Yep.
Okay. Take a look here. I'd like to call the June 11th meeting of VillageFest Board to order. Staff, could we have a roll call, please?
Yeah, we have Chair Roberts,
Present.
Vice Chair Gonella,
Here.
Board Member Anderson is currently absent, Board Member Garton,
Here.
Board Member Adele is,
Here.
Board Member Alvarez will be absent, Board Member Battersby,
Here.
and Main Street Meredith.
Yes.
We do have a quorum.
Yay.
Are there any public comments? Seeing none. Are there any board comments this evening?
No.
I'd like to take a minute to welcome all of you on behalf of the board to our Village Fest meeting. You are what makes Village Fest work every week. And we've been doing this for 32 years. We've started our
Not us
33rd year.
personally, but.
We were just children.
We started as children. So thank you for being here. The process, in just a few minutes, we will call you up one by one. If you don't have an agenda, there's some on the table. You can see the order in which you will be called. You will have up to 5 minutes. You don't have to take the entire 5 minutes, but you will have up to 5 minutes to present to the board and explain to us why you think you belong in Village Fest. To give you some insight, we consider this to be an artisan fair as opposed to an arts and crafts fair. So if you're making something, our metric is that you must make at least 75% of what it is you're presenting to us. Other than that, if not that, then we would consider that arts and crafts, and maybe it doesn't fit into Village Fest. There are 4 board members here in the room, 1 online, and Joy Meredith is here. She represents the downtown merchants. She's not a voting member, but they are very much a part of the Village Fest experience. So we ask her to join us and counsel us there. I think that's all the comments, so we'll get moving along forward. Is there any correspondence, staff?
We have none.
No, seeing none. All right, we'll move on to the consent calendar. The agenda for this evening, is there a motion to accept?
I move to accept.
I'll second. Let's vote. Mitchell,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Greg, yes, Celia,
Yes.
and Cheryl.
Yes.
Moving on to the minutes from our last meeting, Cheryl and David were absent, so you cannot vote on that. Is there a motion to accept the minutes from our last meeting?
I move to accept the minutes from our last meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
Good. Let's vote. Celia,
Yes.
Greg, yes, Dan,
Yes.
Mitchell,
Yes.
very good, passed. All right, now we're gonna move into the part where we call you up, and the first one up is the El Patron Restaurant. Are you present?
Present.
Please come up. You can press the button on your microphone when you're ready, and we will start the timer at 5 minutes.
Can we just do a brief introduction of, based on our previous
Yes.
meeting? Cheryl was not present, so I do want to make sure,
Every turn.
okay, she's aware as well.
Yeah, or Dan.
So we have asked this vendor to come before you. They did present, or they did participate in Village Fest 2 weeks ago, right?
The 30th of May.
Okay.
Yeah, the last Thursday of May.
We took some pictures, we sent some out to the board. I believe some board members came out as well to take a look at it. But you did ask at our last board meeting to have them come back before you so that we could set some guidelines or parameters for their participation, if that's what the board should decide to do moving forward. So just want to make sure everyone's on the same page as we head into this first one.
Could you state your name?
Yeah, Alex Gonzalez.
Thank you, Alex.
So thank you guys. Thank you for having us. So I'm not, I guess, a merchant per se, so we're not selling a product. But what we're proposing, and I've been working with Faith and Jasmine, is a car show, possibly once a month at the Village Fest. I'm owner of El Patron Palm Springs with my father, Mario Gonzalez. And we're local real estate developers and local car guys. So yeah, so we have a little space on Palm and Tockwitz next to our outdoor dining parklet. And it's just always, vacant or blocked off. And, being a car guy and always wanted to do a car show, an annual car show for the restaurant with COVID and stuff, it kind of went to the wayside. And then I had brought it up to the sergeant and local police that hang out on Thursday nights by the restaurant, and they thought it was a great idea. So then I reached out to Faith, and they allowed us to have the first one. So we were brought in, I think, 10 or 12 vehicles. These were in the lowrider genre. So I have some local buddies here that are also car guys and promoters. And yeah, it was a hit. I mean, it was received very well, and I would say 90% of the people have probably never seen one up close, especially the out of towners. So it was a lot of questions, a lot of talking, a lot of, just going over the cars and all kinds of good stuff. So yeah, so in the summer months, I was proposing possibly to do the last Thursday of every month, and then as it cools off, maybe do every other Thursday. We would probably have a max of 12 to 15 cars. Based on how large the cars are, because we're gonna have all different types, and just parked in a manner in front of our parklet, and yeah, that's what we're proposing. So I know there was some questions, and you guys maybe had some questions, or maybe we needed to put some parameters on some things. And yeah, I'm open for any questions you have.
You mentioned lowriders. Can you explain better?
Like old like Chicano style Impalas with hydraulics and
Oh, okay.
custom
Yeah, the ones that
paint.
bounce
Yeah,
and they-
yeah.
okay.
They could be anything, but I
I
mean,
didn't
we
know
had,
that's what they were called.
yeah, we had cars from from the 90s to the 60s, just really wild, a lot of paint, and I mean, it was just people were coming to them in droves. Just a lot of out of towners, obviously, as you guys know, coming to Palm Springs. So it was cool just to talk with so many different people from Germany and from all areas of Europe and stuff. So it was, yeah, so that's what that was. But I was thinking, maybe I'm a Volkswagen guy myself, so maybe have the Volkswagen guys one week, maybe some Porsche guys, or then do like classics. And I know there's a lot of local Palm Springs clubs too, which we would, entertain inviting. Yeah, I mean, we're just a big community of guys that love all styles of cars, no matter who you are, what club you're in, or whatever. And I thought it would be a really cool addition at the street fair to do that.
On the diagram that came with the letter, who did that diagram? Did we do it, or did they submit it?
The diagram?
Yeah, it was a diagram.
Oh,
maybe
they did.
They did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So that shows cars on both sides with just a little bit of walking space in between. I did see it. I actually drove down there to come down and see it. And they were all angled in front of the parklet, which was kind of doable, but there was a lot of people in the street as well. I personally think putting it on both sides is way too congested. I'm not comfortable with that.
I agree.
Yeah.
So the
I
way,
think only one
sorry,
side. Sorry,
the way it laid out, yeah, it looked good on paper and maybe like seeing it in person, but once they got there, we found that obviously one side to have that fire lane, which the cops were very happy about, and we had to do it.
Mhm.
The only other thing, if you went down there, I would face them the other way so that we can exit easier. So we're not having to kind of pull out and, drive it.
Yeah.
So we'll angle them
Having them
facing
headed out toward the
towards the
Montana
museum.
was kind of cool, because as you're walking down, you see it.
Yeah,
And it draws you. So
Yeah.
I guess you'll see the side of the cars and that.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, either way it's fine.
So it was, like trial run, and a lot of them showed up, so it was really good.
Mhm.
So I'm just confused by something, because when we talked about it, I thought we were going to establish it as an entertainment space and offer them to apply as an entertainment vendor. Are we no longer doing that?
You have absolutely every right to put in
Okay.
parameters that feel comfortable to you here and now.
So I don't know if you want to speak to that or. if you want me
I
to.
do.
Go ahead. Go for it.
Alex, I wanted to give you a little background.
Yeah.
First of all, I think what you're doing is very interesting, and what we're all about here is bringing people down to VillageFest.
Mhm.
You've seen our traditional booths and,
Yep.
and spaces and food vendors. In fact, there's 17 categories
Yeah.
of people that can apply to VillageFest. I think one of the rubs that started this was that the procedure should have been, you should have come to this body first.
Got it.
To present what it is you wanted to do prior to going to the police who don't approve anybody for
Mhm.
Village Fest. But I'm glad you went to staff and
Yeah.
talked to them and got their concurrence. So, that's just a little background of why we're here. What we need to discuss is how this will be structured so that we're fair to everybody who wants to do something like that.
Of course.
We know this is a benefit to your restaurant,
Mhm.
and we think that's great. You're a
Yeah.
downtown merchant, and we support everything you're doing.
Thank you.
But there's other restaurants down there who may want to use that space and do something like that. So in our mind, it's all about creating an opportunity for you,
Mhm.
for the visitors who come
Mhm.
to see that and enjoy that, and for anybody else, any other merchant in the downtown area who may want to use that as an opportunity to promote their business, market their business, and generally make Village Fest a fun experience for
Yes.
everybody who comes. So, any other board comment,
Yeah.
please?
So first of all, hi, I went down there and it looked great. And the pictures that you posted and we shared them online
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
really look good. And of course, when a downtown business wants to take part like this, I'm on board for that. But I did have some questions, and I know I did touch on a
Mhm.
couple of them with you. And why this is so important is we are setting a total precedent right now that is different from anything that we've ever had before. So we want to be careful of how this is handled, to make sure that it could be fair and equitable to
Yeah.
others as well. So there's a couple of things I wanted to know. One is, do the car owners pay you to be part of your event?
No,
Okay, well, good.
no.
I mean,
Yeah.
good that you
Yes, of
answered
course.
that.
Yeah.
Do you check to make sure that those car owners have insurance for the vehicles that they're gonna be parking in the Village Fest event? Or could you make sure that that's done? And would that be too much to ask staff if they could follow up to make sure that there's insurance?
We could, it is not a current policy that we hold. So we don't check everybody's insurance who brings cars into the festival, even those that display them. So we have a couple that display them, but if that is something that the board would like us to do, it is something we can implement, and we will then also implement it for other displays that are at Village Fest, just so that we're staying equal to all of our vendors.
Would his insurance be able to umbrella over that? In this situation? I just don't know, because we
Yeah.
never did this.
Well,
before.
it's not on the
Club
grounds
has
of
one.
the, yeah, it's car club, but not, it's
Mhm.
not on the grounds of the restaurant.
But as a vendor, as what would now be considered either entertainment or vendor or whatever, like you would expect, like any vendor has
Yes.
to provide some sort of
Yes.
insurance to be out there. So that was one of the things I wanted to know about.
Good point.
And I know it's still not clear what that answer is, but I want to know about that. And also the possibility of needing more security right there, both for spectators and for the car owners, because they are flopping up and down and, people get a little, I could see people are super excited there.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
really fun and
yeah.
I was glad to see it actually
Yeah.
with my eyes. But so those were the things I really was wondering about, was security and insurance, and he already answered that the car owners are not paying for the space itself. So to me, it's an entertainment thing. It could go kind of under entertainment, but I just want to be careful how you all word this and everything, because this might be the first of several and we have to be fair to everybody just the same. So that's why I was asking these questions, and I asked him before this meeting as well.
So Alex, the car owners stay with the cars?
Yeah.
while-
Yeah, everyone was, gathering and hanging out. People were, they were walking around, going to other venues, restaurants while their cars were sitting there.
And are you allowing,
Wait, so the answer is that they don't stay with the cars necessarily, right?
No, people
They
were,
might say
But they're
Village
there,
Fest,
they're-
but they're not right at their car.
no, that night, I would say maybe 75% of the time they were, just because there were so many questions and people in awe and taking photos and all that.
Can we stay on that question for a second? So since it's a car club, right? If I'm in it, you're in it, she's in it, he's in it, we all have our cars there. Would it be possible to just make sure that a person from the car club is there at all times, because you can get damage to the cars, you can get theft,
Yeah,
and things
of
like that.
course.
I think it might be a good idea. I don't know, how does everyone feel about that? What's your
I
thought?
agree.
I think the owner should be present with their cars, otherwise there does become, what if the damage happens,
Yeah,
who's
theft or
responsible?
whatnot, yeah. Yeah.
You know, and if the cars are bouncing up and down, also I'm concerned if somebody gets injured.
Yeah,
Well, if I can
because
go
they're-
into that, I mean, so I kind of like doing this the first time I set kind of like my own rules, like no music, because there's obviously someone set up in the middle, so I didn't want it to, go over them, and no hopping around or moving and all that stuff. So essentially it was just backing in, parking and displaying, and then, once they leave, they're obviously.
and there was one that was like this.
Yeah, but yeah, and that's just like displayed, like that's like
Is
art.
that one of yours?
And now, that day,
Yeah,
when I was there to see them, there were two more cars that came afterward that were on the other side of the stanchions because there was no room for them.
yeah,
And they pulled up and they were bouncing and doing like whatever they do. And then the cars were left there and then they got out of the cars and did something. That can't be. You
Yeah.
have to end at the stanchions.
yeah,
And part of the reason is that, of course, that's egress for.
Of course,
for a
yeah, it's
hotel.
right away
It's-
and
Yeah,
all that
okay,
stuff, yeah.
great, cool.
yeah. No,
Yeah,
like
so-
I said, trial and error, the
Yeah.
first go around, and
Yeah.
like I said, the cops were very receptive and were just guiding people around and stuff. So it was, and then to answer your question, as far as the insurance, yeah, again, this is new to me too. So if we have to get any type of certificate of insurance or whatever, it's not a big deal. As far as,
That's fine, it's a requirement that we have for all of our vendors.
yeah, so, and I don't mind being, like, well, we were a vendor at one point for the restaurant, we had a little cart in the front, so I don't mind being and paying for the other spot.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Again, I'm open, yeah, very
So-
open,
So the spots are typically 10 by 12 plus
Yeah.
with a little bit of
Yeah,
breathing space.
I get
inside,
it.
Right,
That's
so they're
a lot
120
larger.
square feet.
yeah,
So as I looked at it, I said, honestly, this is probably 6, maybe 7 feet deep, right? And
yeah,
probably 15 to 20 feet long anyway. So if you multiply that out, it's the size of a booth. So what we're proposing, because you weren't part of this conversation, it will be to establish an entertainment space there. Non-music, right? Because otherwise it competes with all the other music plus the restaurants and everything.
Mhm.
And make it available to the downtown merchants. For display space, and of course, it's gonna be on an application basis, so as people apply for it, once he's an entertainment venue. If we have 3 others who wanna do the same thing in the same space, that gets managed the same way we do the 4 other entertainment spaces, and that staff will schedule for each week, right? And they'll set you up. So that was kind of what we were looking at doing, because the other choices, Joy, as you mentioned with categories, there was downtown merchant, but downtown merchant displays and sells the same merchandise they have in their store, which he's not selling tacos out there, right? That's right. And then the other one was attraction. It's not an attraction, because attraction, that's what I thought it would be, but an attraction really is somebody coming there to advertise about an attraction like Acrisure Arena or
Power
casino,
Baseball.
Power Baseball, exactly. So what made the most sense was an entertainment space, because it's entertaining, right?
Mhm.
And that's how we could sort of fit this in to make it work without having to morph our whole process and structure. So,
I agree.
yeah,
So
so,
I'm,
yeah,
I
you have a lot of
questions.
experience with
Yeah,
that,
I wanted to know, so you're proposing that that he become entertainment and then it gets circulated, so other people like Los Consuelos or any other
Yeah.
place that might
Lulu,
want
same,
to,
yeah,
and it be in front of El Patron?
it would still be on that same street, so that's where, on Tockwitz, where we're establishing that space. He's fortunate to be on a corner to be able to do that, right? But if you're, I don't know, name another restaurant, Solagave, they're not on the corner, but what if they wanted to do something and they wanted to display something, and it may not be cars, it might be, God knows what, right? Anything. It could be Mexican antiquities, it could be, right? So that was what we were thinking, is that it could be something
Sort
like
of.
that, huh? Yeah, but that we could establish a space there. Because in order to be on the street during VillageFest, you have to be a paying vendor, right? That's how we do it. So this was how we could sort of make it all work together. That was our thought. And I have a motion crafted, it's a
Well, I
little
just
bit
have more,
wordy.
I have,
Yeah,
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 I
so
want
keep
to.
on going with it.
So again, I want to understand this because I had some concerns about this when it was brought up. That other restaurants and or merchants downtown would feel like, oh, I want to do that. I want to have stuff in front of my, like Los Consuelos, I want to put cars in front of my, which could impact how
This is no more
VillageFest,
room in front of
Yeah.
it.
how it flows.
No,
Well,
I totally understand. I mean, unfortunately, we have that space. It kind of sits barren, and it's been
but
like
it
that.
belongs to the city. It's not belong, doesn't belong to you. Exactly.
No. But I'm just saying during Village Fest, we have that, that space is there.
Yeah.
Faith had mentioned that it's actually a benefit because it's blocking that area and whatnot that's barricaded off. But yeah, I'm open. I would like to have multiple weekends in place that I, maybe schedule out for.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't mind, I wouldn't be opposed to having other merchants there if we're not using it, but definitely not food, right? Or
Well,
having Las
That's
Casuelas.
not something.
It's just an entertainment display space. but yeah.
I don't think that's something that you can dictate. I mean,
Well, selling food isn't entertainment, right? I mean,
well, but that's on the street and that's up to the Village Fest people to decide whether or not. And my only concern, and I think the car idea is great,
Yeah.
and
no, I
I'm not 100% opposed to it, but I have some real concerns about how other vendors are gonna feel, or the restaurants are gonna feel about giving you that space and not giving it to them. So I think if we had something like if you were once a month, I don't see how you could be more often than that, because entertainment is monthly.
It's usually once a month.
Yeah.
Um,
It's not usually once a month.
Yeah, no?
Entertainment is probably every other week.
yeah,
Oh,
It's
okay,
at least
sorry. I
once.
get it. Okay.
And the only other
Really
thing I
scheduled.
mentioned is maybe doing it twice a month if, better weather and stuff like that.
scheduling of entertainers is under the purview of staff. So
Okay.
you would work with them
Yeah.
to make sure that
Yeah, most definitely.
there's a rotation, but I want to ask you a difficult question.
Okay.
If Lulu's came across the street and wanted to put on a dance show that promoted Lulu's, how would you feel about that?
I mean, if it brings people downtown and to the businesses, I mean,
Well, that's a
I
good
can't-
answer.
I
That's a good
can't, I
answer.
can't stop
Yeah.
them, so.
No,
Yeah.
but you wouldn't like it.
I mean, I mean, if they're selling, tacos and margaritas, maybe, but
okay, but
To the point,
Yeah.
and the point I want to try to make is that the overarching issue here is this is Village Fest.
of course.
And this is about everybody coming down
Yeah.
and having a good time, enjoying all the vendors and all the merchants.
Of course.
So we want you to clearly understand,
No, I get it.
you don't have any ownership of that piece of the street
Yeah,
to promote your restaurant, even though you have a very fine restaurant.
Yeah.
We've got to be fair to everybody. And that's the piece I want you to
fair
understand.
guy. Again, I would just like to, have the shot of doing it once a month at least, at a minimum.
So let me recap for you, just
Yeah.
to make sure you understand what you've heard. You will be in one of the vendor categories, an entertainment,
Mhm.
and there'll be a fee associated with that.
Yeah.
You will work with staff to schedule when you are there and when you're not. And I think that at least early on will be very flexible. But it could change as
Yeah,
other people see.
Yeah. See the
And-
benefit of,
Our record is
Yeah.
public, so others will hear that
of
that
course.
is a possibility. Anything else that?
well,
so
and I
we-
just wanted to just state also
just
that
leave it with
you,
that one, yeah.
you would not have input into who potentially could be on.
Oh, I
the
get
street.
it. It's.
Like you
public.
might show up and go, oh, Lulu's has a stage in front of,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it's
gotta
right
be
next to your
okay with
parklet,
that.
and that's the only reason why I was concerned with
fine
your.
with me.
But
So,
it would be for entertainment, right? Where we are specifying
Yes,
this
we're not.
area
They
for
wouldn't be selling, they
entertainment.
wouldn't have
There
their food
wouldn't
truck in
be.
front of it.
No,
Yeah.
correct.
So I think that
Correct.
wasn't clear.
That's why I
Yeah.
said,
To him, yeah.
also, the shape of the space is irregular, so it wouldn't work for anything like that. That's the whole point, is that it's an irregular space, and in an irregular space, we could easily accommodate entertainment.
Mhm.
But I'm not really sure what else we could accommodate there anyway. I mean, I would leave that to staff to answer that question.
Well, and I do like the specification that it's, non-auditorial entertainment.
Good word.
So
Wow, you're
that
gonna-
we can do, displays.
You're gonna get a
and
final
things of
tip
that
on the way out.
nature. But
Yeah.
not any sort of.
Yeah.
I've got a
musical-
question.
Local artists.
Cheryl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Cheryl, go ahead.
I just want to also make sure we're not suggesting that on the alternating weeks, it has to be another restaurant. At that point, we've opened up an entertainment space and
Yes.
El Patron is going to have it once or twice a month. And then we're talking about Lulu's, but it could be anybody coming in and applying for some sort of entertainment thing that is non-auditor, whatever that word was you just used.
But could that come into our other entertainment people that decide they want to be there?
Yeah. In other words, let's say that we get a mime who comes and applies, right? And he goes, "Look, let's do mimes on the street." He's not a downtown merchant or a downtown restaurant. Are we thinking of opening it up to that, or are we reserving this for the merchants, for downtown merchants?
So that's gonna be up to the board's
That's a good
discretion.
Yeah.
It's a good question.
What's your thought on that? What's the pros and cons of both sides?
I can. speak to
Yeah,
that.
you're the most
So
knowledgeable.
we've had mimes and things like that come before, but that's not, they don't take a big space, and we usually fit those types. If
Yeah.
we have other spaces on the street, we fit them in
Yeah.
somewhere else, like that.
So you don't
like
need
by the
it for
plaza.
that. In
No.
other words, you're
And
saying
or
that
they're
if we,
roving,
huh?
You know, and or they're roving. So the balloon person, they
Yeah.
rove.
Right.
We just
Right.
give them the parameters of staying within the vicinity of Village
Right.
Fest.
So like
So,
theoretically, the museum could decide they want once a week to have some sort of display that is, for them. I mean, I'm obviously making stuff up, but it could be something along those lines that we would consider entertainment. And they would use that space to do some sort of display of something. And then that would fit this.
I'm thinking more in line of downtown merchants. That space is for the downtown merchants and to be able to,
it's a museum considered a downtown merchant?
I would
Uh,
think so.
Yes.
But
We are?
also the
Yeah.
museum would fit into multiple other
multiple
categories.
categories. That's what,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
So,
would all
Not
the
entertainment.
downtown merchants.
Yeah, but if they wanted something to attract people up the street to go to the museum,
Mhm.
if they wanted to say, we're gonna display a piece of art there, and we're gonna have someone there talking and handing out pamphlets.
It's supposed to be entertainment.
Yeah, well,
That's not
it's.
really entertainment. That's a commercial vendor.
Or an attraction.
Or an
Yeah, it's an
attraction.
attraction.
So we're
we
making a
would say-
special something right now. Otherwise, this discussion would already be over, but
Right.
this is touchy,
Mhm.
right? I don't get to vote. I love car shows. I wish JP had one in front of NYPD
Yeah.
on Thursday nights. It'd be cool as beans right there.
Mhm.
But I really like car shows, and I'm pretty sure you've been born here.
Yes.
And your whole family's from here. You've had a business here for a long time. I feel very confident that you would handle this in a professional way. And I'm really glad that we're having the opportunity to discuss it, because honestly, I felt a little cheated that when this had come up at the
Mhm.
bottom of our agenda, not actually for discussion, to really be able to talk about it. But I feel like you would totally understand what's being asked of you
Mhm.
here. And I know that Faith totally and Jasmine, they get it too. So personally, I think it would be a really good addition to Village Fest, and I
How
wouldn't
would-
mind seeing more cars.
How would other downtown restaurants or other merchants
Yeah.
become aware of this possibility?
Well, I could tell them if you want me to.
I mean, I think
I'd be
that's,
glad to
I
tell them
think
if you want me
that's
to.
something that in order to be fair,
Mhm.
they should be aware that this space is available
Mhm.
once or twice a month.
Would it only be on this corner?
Yes,
That is
no,
the
this is,
other question that I had.
My-
Just this corner?
my motion is to establish that space right there. As a new entertainment space. Not to just open up every side street, because we do have emergency egress, and there's a lot of other reasons,
Yes.
right? And so that would have to be on a case by case basis. We have to analyze it and figure it out. And then again, it's special treatment because it's the convenience of if you're on a corner, you get that space, and if you're not, you really can't get another space in
But
front
it
of you.
also is in front of somebody's restaurant.
That's
So the other issue is, what if
Some of the side streets.
Consuelos or, Lulu's or something I want it outside my restaurant. I think that's where I have a problem.
But our
Let me
point is, it's
follow up.
not outside, yeah, or go ahead.
Let me follow on to Celia. I think that's a great point. Because it's next door to, or right there by your restaurant, it's implied that it's advertising for you in some way, shape or form.
Get
And
it.
fine,
Yeah.
that's fine. But to use the example, if Lulu's wanted to come across the street, would we allow Lulu's to say, this is Lulu's who's putting on this entertainment venue, so they get the same benefit that
But
Alex
Or
is
right
getting?
next to
Or-
down there, that side street in front of Lulu's. They could, you know, they could say, I want to do something.
Well, no, I think
But we're not
yeah,
establishing those
just
spaces,
one
though there's
space.
still emergency egress.
Yeah.
What we discussed and I was going to propose, I just want to clarify my motion. I'm open to whatever, right? But what I was going to propose is that we establish that particular footprint, that 120 square foot oblong irregular shaped footprint as a non-auditory entertainment space that we're going to prioritize availability to the downtown merchants. That was the thought. And the fact that it's on the side street, well, for that matter, there's vendor booths in front of everyone's business. And if that vendor booth in some way has a product or something that would attract people then to look into the business that's behind it, so be it. That's happenstance, right? And that's how I feel about anything being on the side street. They happen to have a parklet there.
Yeah.
But if there weren't parklets, this wouldn't even come into play because it's not even looking into your restaurant. The front of your restaurant is really where the seating is, right? But now that there's a parklet, they happen to have a wraparound. But their restaurant ends at the plywood of that parking lot.
Right, but
I
Joy,
know
so
that part.
Joy, you are familiar with the downtown merchants. How do you think this is gonna go over with them? That's it.
You think they're gonna balk, basically?
That's kind of where
How many
gonna ask-
downtown
I'm gonna
merchants do you have right now?
Exactly. I'm gonna.
So I just want to tell you that when we want to get downtown businesses involved in VillageFest, Ginny Fote, when she was councilwoman, she made a special category and there was a lot of uproar that the merchants are going to ruin VillageFest,
Yeah,
that the whole place
It's
is
all
going to be
It's gonna be like
just
sloppy.
all downtown. How many do we got?
I don't think we've ever had more than
Two, we have
4
two
on the
right
street
now.
at
We have
any time.
two.
Or maybe
So,
three.
you know,
The
because it's a
3%.
lot of work. It's not just, you know, you might have your store or your restaurant behind you, but when you have to start going out on the street, it's really hard, it's hot, it's heavy. It's a lot of things.
More
So
staff.
Yeah, I
I
had
don't. think
firsthand
it'll be-
experience in that. It was tough, even
Yeah.
though we were right there
Right.
to mobilize and
Yeah.
do all that. It was extremely tough and we stopped.
But I want to circle back because I think Dan is formulating a motion coming
Okay.
up in his head. And I want to make sure that we address, if it is not El Patron one night and it is another merchant, would we allow them to say this entertainment is provided by name?
I think you'd have to. yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
and
think
when
you'd have
But-
to.
Because,
And he
like,
can brand it the same way.
he's doing the work.
Yes.
and
Agreed.
entertainment, I mean, well, and you said non-auditorial, right? So when I guess what I'm thinking entertainment is like a band or something, or it's more like, why, I figure ours is like a display, right? Or, you know, an art display.
It could be
almost.
dancing, it could be.
Yeah.
Be a high school.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Exhibition.
Fine.
Well, but that would involve music and noise.
yeah, that's where I'm
So,
confused.
so we're using this term entertainment, which has a huge
Mhm.
meaning to it.
Yes.
Perhaps if we think car show, if we
Display,
think car show or a car show display is a good idea, perhaps we say, let's open it up to the other car clubs and see if we can get some interest from them to take a couple of weeks also in there. And we have different car clubs come in. There's a Rolls Royce car club. There's a lot of different car clubs here. There's, you know, that could possibly be interested. And maybe we just make it specifically for automobile displays.
I hear your point,
This is the room.
but that would be a new category. And what we're trying to do is not create a new category, yes. Because there's no category for auto display or.
Well, but if we call them, if we say they're downtown, it's entertainment. And then the subcategory is, because it fits, the cars fit there, that it's just strictly cars. I don't think we have to have a new category.
I don't think we can have a new category without
Yeah.
it going to
Yeah.
city
Yeah.
council.
So there's-
But how about just that this is quiet entertainment right there? It, you know, they're not,
That's really where I was,
yeah, just
with
we
it,
could,
yeah.
you know, it could be all kinds of things, but
because other car clubs may not be associated with any downtown merchant. What we're trying to do is make it available only for the downtown merchants to give them an advantage for attracting.
But tell me a downtown merchant that would benefit from this. One,
El Patron?
no,
Really?
besides, yeah, just
Lulu.
Lulu's, right? Let's say that Lulu's comes out and they
Just-
do a display and they have a sign, and they say they're from Lulu's and they have
do
menus.
the downtown merchants specifically benefit from it? Our event, Village Fest.
That wasn't my
benefits
question.
from
My
it.
question was, what other, looking at the downtown merchants, they have their retail space,
Yeah.
they have their restaurants. what could they take from their business and put into that space?
What if someone
Doesn't
wanted
have to
to,
be from their business,
Well,
that's nothing to do with their, with.
but if someone wanted to
things
do a
inside it.
cooking demonstration? You know, that would be a great
Well,
venue.
that's
to-
not, that's not non-auditory either.
Motorcycles.
That's what I was, I wanna do
No,
like
no, it
a-
doesn't have to be silent, the
Silent,
thing is
yeah.
quiet.
It's not,
No,
It's not music.
like, it's not a music specific event that would.
And I,
And no carnival barker.
Please.
yeah, joint.
I would like you guys to know that I was there the whole time when they were there, and I saw when they left, and let me just tell you. They were surrounded by people the whole
Oh,
night,
yeah,
and
when I
when
was
they
there-
left, everybody stood there. Watching them and watching the cars pull out, taking pictures, taking videos, everyone was
Yeah.
very excited about it. And who benefits mostly from it is VillageFest.
Yeah.
So I do want you guys to understand that.
No, I
we
agree.
had so many tags from, I think, Palm Canyon Drive, Instagram.
That's me.
Oh, yeah. The police department, I mean, Village Fest in general, it was like, it was crazy.
The question is it a good event? I mean, I think
I
it is a great event. I'm
I'm
looking at the equity issue. That's the thing that bothers me the most is, are we allowing somebody to have a special display right outside their restaurant? And are other restaurants who are downtown merchants going to feel slighted by that? That's my issue.
I can say that we've had other downtown merchants that do set up right in front of their store when we do have availability. We've had other restaurants that him included when he was here with his burgers set up outside his restaurant. Brandini Toffee set outside their
No, but
restaurant,
I'm
so
talking about another event, not a food venue. I'm talking about something that's just completely off the rails, Lulu having a car show or a motorcycle show or
I'd be
a
fine.
golf
I mean, if
cart
Lulu's
show.
wanted to
I
have,
mean-
a car show for themselves.
That's my
We're
only-
not,
I'm not-
let's,
Yeah, it's not about whether this is a valid and valuable display. It certainly is.
Yeah.
I'm just concerned about how this is gonna appear and what problems we're creating coming up.
But if I'm a paying vendor, I mean, I'm not asking for a handout, obviously, right? So I'll be a paying vendor with insurance that did all the right things and came up with an idea, and I'm the first one.
we're okay,
Yeah.
we're pretty much on board with
Yeah.
what
We're
you.
good with you.
Yeah,
So let us set you
Okay.
aside.
okay.
When the rubber meets the road.
No, I get it. Yeah,
They'll come back to
Yeah,
us
yeah.
and say. You didn't treat us fairly, or you didn't give us an opportunity. That's the piece we've got to get right. So that's what,
But if I could be honest about something here, when we started talking about this, I was against it because I said it's competitive advantage for one particular restaurant. What do cars have to do with Village Fest or with art? It's supposed to be an art fair, right? Like those kind of very elementary type of questions I had in my head. But as I thought this through, what I came up with in my head was, this is not about El Patron at all, that what I was proposing is establish and, again, like a quiet entertainment space that can be applied by any vendor there. It happens to be on Tockwitz. We're not putting it on Tockwitz because they're there. This opened my eyes to, this might be a nice thing to have an attraction thing, because she said, like, it's an attraction, it draws people, right? And we don't really, that works there, especially because we already have the Rowan Hotel blocks a lot of it and everything, right? As opposed to some of the other streets where that is truly emergency egress, regardless of who's next. to
And
it.
I understand what you're
Yeah.
saying, and I think that's a valid point. I'm just saying, because it's outside of this particular
Yeah.
restaurant, it's going to look like a function of this restaurant. So it's going to look like there's a correlation between Mexican food and the lowrider cars. So
Yeah.
people are gonna see that as, well, this is giving them
Favoritism.
special.
But
Yeah,
that was
that's-
just my,
That's our concern.
that was just the first.
even if others are allowed to use that space.
But they might say, I don't want it to be in front of El Patron, I want it to be in front of my
But
restaurant.
they can't apply to put, we can't have a vendor, like a downtown vendor can't apply to have a booth and put it somewhere that they choose. We always say that staff decides on the layout. That is a new established space, sort of, and I'm not arguing for it or against it. I'm just trying to make you understand where my head was. Like the farmer's market space, that's an established space on the side now for farmer's market stuff. So my idea was to establish this for that specific purpose, like we did that. So it does having the farmer's market there, does that give an advantage to, On the Mark, because they're right across the street.
But they're not associated with people who
But-
run the farm, who are
but-
in the farm.
But what if On the Mark
they
wants to have
have
a farmer's market stand there?
charcuterie trays out
Yeah.
there, then, then yeah, there's
Yeah.
a correlation between those. There's no correlation. So
Okay, let's try to do this, because if, at the end of the day, this doesn't work, we can always end it. So that's within our purview of doing this.
Can we review it again in 6 months and see how it's going? See if you have other people that are interested in it. Not only,
Approved it yet.
I'm only, well, if it were to get.
But let me-
Of course, of course. If it
Okay,
were-
let me do this.
Yes.
Dan,
Could
I
we call it
think,
an attraction instead of entertainment?
No,
No.
because that's not the category. It has to be officially named for the category, which is one of the categories that we are allowed to use based on city
But we have an
council.
attraction category,
Yes,
correct?
the attraction
Is-
is intended to take someone off-site
to
to
go to their,
somewhere.
yeah.
So the museum.
Because that
would
was
be
my first
attraction.
thought. That was my first
Well,
thought.
aren't you trying to gain new members to become part of your?
No,
club?
I'm not even in a club. I'm just,
You're not in a club.
just love
So you don't
cars.
even have a car club.
no. And honestly, the guys who came, and I was a little bit worried, like if different car clubs would get along. They're all just one big community.
So
I'm
how,
not inviting anybody in particular. It's like, hey, I got 12 spots. Who wants to come?
Six
And then
spots, by the way. but yeah.
is it
However
six?
many.
Let me propose this to move this forward. Dan, without making a motion.
Yes.
Tell us what is
Would you
in
like me
your
to
mind.
read it and not read? it as
Well,
a
I don't
motion?
want to put a motion on the table, because if you do, then we have to,
Well, I'm not gonna
Then
put a
you can
motion.
still
I'll
discuss.
just read
discuss
to
it.
you what some of the text was. How's that? Is that okay?
please, and let the.
Okay.
The board.
So the idea was to establish an additional entertainment display space with approximate square footage equivalent to a regular VillageFest booth space, albeit in a different geometric footprint, 120 square feet, right? Available to downtown merchants to display attractions, displays, etc., that would be of general entertainment interest to the public while enhancing their visibility. So it's about visibility for the business, right? This space is meant to be rotational to accommodate requests from any downtown merchant for promotion and entertainment. Requests to utilize it would be juried the same as any entertainment vendor would, and would be subject to board approval and would require application fee, the same as any other vendor, and booth rental charge, the same as any entertainment vendor. Any display would have to fit within the footprint as defined by staff for this uniquely shaped Village Fest space and not encroach on the egress already established for the Rowan Hotel valet access. Further, the allocation of this space would be rotated among approved entertainment requests, also at the discretion of staff, the same as we do with the other entertainment spaces. And then also, I had in here, because I didn't know we were gonna be talking to El Patron, that we established this, oh, and by the way, we have this letter from El Patron. So that's how to satisfy their request. We can offer them to now apply as a vendor. Rather than, originally, this all started out as, hey, can we just use the street space and we're gonna display because it'll be fun for people. So what we're trying to do is formalize it. That was the idea. So does that?
After hearing Dan's proposal.
That was your motion?
No, it's not.
No, but wait, but all that text is in the motion. It's a very lengthy motion.
In conceptually, do you have a problem? Are you okay?
I like Joy's comment about giving them a provisional, and maybe reviewing it in 6 months.
Okay,
To
all right.
see what kind of blowback we're getting from other,
So we do it like experimental at this point?
yeah,
Mitchell,
I
do
mean,
you
like-
have any?
give them a provisional.
I mean, I would probably be okay with us doing provisionally once a month to see how it goes, so it's not like this overt act. And if people like it, then we can consider.
What do you mean by once a month?
Yeah.
Only have
Well, I
the
was
display?
proposing in
Yeah.
the summer months,
Yeah.
just the last Thursday of every month.
Wait, but so basically allow them to be there once a month, but
Testing it, so we do it as a test, does it work, and then if it does work, then we look to expand it further into
Or-
other.
or
that's
allow them to be
favoritism.
there more.
I would
Allow
probably
them to
do
be
that.
our.
Yeah, and
followers.
you know, who knows, maybe once a month is fine, you know, I was just in my head, maybe when it's cooler, a couple months, a couple weeks.
But to answer to that, if we're going to look at it provisionally just for like an experimental period, we have to open it up to the other vendors so that, or merchants, so that we know if there's really interest in it. Otherwise, if we say, let's do it for 6 months and just do it for El Patron, right there is the problem.
No, I'm just saying,
No.
no, I'm not saying that we had to do it just for all, but we
Me
give,
neither.
we develop this space we allow El Patron to start utilizing that space. And then we hear from other restaurants, we see what, we collect the
Or
data.
vendors.
Okay, we're
collect data.
all on board mostly so far, except for a provisional issue. Cheryl, do you have anything you'd like to add?
No, I mean, I like the idea of doing it and checking in again in 6 months. And I don't know that it has to be limited to only 1 week out of the month. I just think we give it a shot and see what happens.
Joy, would you weigh in for the downtown merchants?
I agree with what you said, Cheryl, and even to the point of maybe if you want to do it more than once a month and things are working out okay and staff felt cool about it, then maybe that would be okay. Would we prefer it to be just empty, or would we prefer it to have the cars there? I think that that's what you all need to think about as well. So I don't know that the once a month, I know you said that, and I don't know if you said it because you thought we'd be happy with
No,
hearing
that
it.
was, that was my original
Okay.
idea, yeah,
But
especially in the summer months.
yeah,
It's-
Andrew, you're gonna participate in the summer because you live here, you got your
Yeah,
business
yeah,
here, you're
yeah,
here.
yeah.
So I like that too. It'll be a good addition.
How would you determine who you invite, or if, could anybody reach out because you got that space?
Yeah,
now?
so like my plan is, and I sent Faith and Jasmine like almost like a templated flyer. I would post it on social media and and then I would just target certain clubs or friends with certain types of cars.
Well,
Like
you
I
have to
said.
control the number of cars they're gonna.
Of
be down
course,
there,
yeah,
because
I have
That was
a- I
the
have a
issue I
cap.
had. That was my only issue
Yeah.
that night. I was.
Yeah, those.
Open Kimona, I was against this.
Yeah.
Right, in the beginning, when I
Yeah.
first
No,
heard
I
the
get it.
concept, then I came down there and she came running up, I'm so glad she came
Yeah.
here, because I want you to
Yeah,
see
like
it.
the two guys in
And
the
I thought
back,
it was cool. yeah.
like anybody that maybe came after that
They,
just wanted
they
to
get
see,
turned away. They
I
got
said-
turned away.
go park in the public parking and
Yes.
walk over and,
Okay.
enjoy it. And we can't just be scattered.
Okay,
I want it to be clean and
Yeah.
professional, and I got, our bussers cleaning after the whole event and just
Okay.
keeping an eye on everything, so.
Staff, any input before I ask Dan to make a motion?
I would like to say that it does, we usually have a police car that parks there,
Uh-huh.
and we can utilize that police car elsewhere to help block our entrances where people can.
Good
get in. So
point.
that
Good
does
point.
help, yes.
Jasmine, anything you wanna?
I did have something, but I lost it.
Dan, do you think you're ready to make a motion?
I don't know, do you wanna?
No, go right ahead, go ahead.
Sure.
Yeah.
Anybody have any?
No, go ahead and make a
Okay.
motion.
All right. Gonna be a while. Okay, I make a motion that we establish an additional entertainment display space. With approximate square footage equivalent to a regular VillageFest booth space, albeit in a different geometric footprint. So in a regular footprint, available to downtown merchants, so all downtown merchants, not just restaurants. To display attractions, displays, etc., that would be of general entertainment interest to the public while enhancing their visibility. This space is meant to be rotational to accommodate requests from any downtown merchant for promotion and entertainment. Requests to utilize it would be juried the same as we do the rest of the vendor process, would be subject to board approval. So in other words, the fact that we're establishing this now, it doesn't mean anybody that comes and applies, okay, they could do, it, right? It would have an application, it requires application fee, booth rental charge, exactly the same as any vendor. Any display would have to fit within the footprint as defined by staff for this uniquely shaped space and not encroach on the egress for the hotel behind it. Further, the allocation of the space will be rotated among approved entertainment requests, also discretion of staff. And, actually, that's it. That's it. I'm gonna ignore the rest of it.
Good job.
That's a
Yeah.
long motion. I'm really sorry.
I know you have to wait, they have to.
Oh,
wait.
okay.
You have to wait.
Okay, so that's my motion.
Thank you. Is there a second to that?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Are we ready to vote? Mitchell,
Oh,
Be honest.
can I, could just say,
we can't discuss.
okay,
We gotta vote.
I'm still not comfortable with it. I'm gonna have to say no.
Okay. Dan,
Yes.
I will vote yes. Celia,
I'll vote yes.
Cheryl,
Yes.
it passes.
Right.
Congratulations.
American
Thank you.
Idol.
Now if you.
Yeah, now you
I
can.
would like to
I
say
just
that
have-
is
I
the
don't know.
provisional- Is the provisional, is it, you didn't put the provisional clause in there, which is, we're gonna review this whole
Staff
Oh,
issue.
I think
Yeah.
staff,
All right, so whoever's second second it should have made
No,
it.
it's okay.
Staff knows.
It's okay,
We know
staff
we'll
knows.
bring it back.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
set a calendar reminder for
I'm
6
sorry,
months from
thank
now
you.
for review.
Alex, you're doing that.
I got so wrapped up in my essay here.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify the shape of it,
Yes.
because it's, and it's much larger than hundred and 20 square
It
feet.
is.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's essentially, well,
No, it's like 6 feet deep and about 20 feet long.
no, it's much longer than
Much
20 feet.
longer.
It goes from the beginning of our parklet to essentially the barricades where the cop car was. So it's big.
It's big.
Now, the barricades, when I was there, they were moved back. I don't, they were too far back for my good, even if that's where they always were. Cause it was like, if this is the apron of the driveway to get into the Rowans, they were up to about here. They were about a quarter to a third.
Yeah, and we can
That needs to,
essentially,
well, in general, the village has one.
Yeah, no, that's our responsibility. That's not theirs.
Yeah, I'm saying,
They're
but-
not even supposed
yeah.
to move anything. It'll
So-
have to be us.
No,
Yeah.
I know, but my point being, that's gonna make it shorter than what you saw the last time.
yeah, so it would essentially go to, I think it would be like the length of our parklet plus
Yeah.
2 where that cop car was. And then those other 2 kind of
Yeah.
guys that were just parked.
But it only goes halfway into the street. It can't go. all
Of
the way.
course, yeah, I'm not trying to
That's the
go
point.
double.
Okay,
I
good.
need to leave that right away for the,
Yeah.
so, but it is still bigger than.
It's
120
bigger
square
than,
feet.
yeah.
And I can measure it and make a graph and I can give you a plan if you want.
Yeah, I say, you know what? We're not gonna measure
We're-
inches.
I'm just gonna say,
They know.
our current policy is if someone wants to pay for a second spot, we allow them to do so. As
Okay.
long as we have space available.
So if
We
that's
have a
two
lot of
hundred and
vendors
forty
that pay
square
for 2
feet,
spots.
then you're good, then it would
Be
go for 2?
Mhm.
Okay,
Very good.
all right.
Thank you.
Great.
Okay, thank you
Thank you
guys.
very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
So he still needs to now apply.
The letter serves as,
Yeah.
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 and-
So the letters, the applications, now,
Yeah.
we haven't juried him, so let's jury him.
So
We,
can I-
we just made a motion
Oh
to
my gosh,
establish
you
the
guys are
space.
too much.
Yeah, no, I think.
No, but officially we have to, so he made his presentation, and I think we have to vote.
Isn't that what we just did? No,
No,
they,
no.
they're saying they.
We
created
voted
the
to
space.
establish
Oh.
this entertainment space. Now we just have to vote.
Well, let's move on.
Yeah,
Make a
there's
motion.
a lot of votes.
Make a motion.
If I make a motion.
Make a motion. Make a
I make a motion that we accept El Patron as an entertainment vendor.
Thank you.
I'll second.
I'll
Okay,
email you.
Let's vote. Celia,
Yes.
Greg, yes, Dan,
yes.
Mitchell,
Yes.
and Cheryl.
Yes.
Thank-
Okay,
Very
sorry.
good.
All right, thank you
No,
guys.
because officially otherwise. I'm
So
gonna
it was
amend
so
it,
long,
yeah.
everybody didn't know what this is.
I know, it's not normal.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's not-
I'll email you.
Okay, no
This
problem.
was
Thank you, Jeff.
something.
You know, we want you to run around the building.
New rules here that we're working. You got it.
Sorry to everybody else for this long, listed conversation. Let's move on. Yeah.
Move on.
Quintus, are you here? Why don't you begin setting up on the table behind you, and then we'll call Ruth Serrano up. Ruth, are you here? Come on up, please. So Quintus, you can begin setting up. and-
Okay, then he's gonna go. That's okay, okay.
Yeah, downtown.
Yeah.
I'll be, I'm the one on Instagram.
Okay, so am I.
I know, I follow you.
He's gonna do an overture.
Ruth is a current vendor. She's bringing some new items that she'd like to, add. Correct?
Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
Hi.
My name is Ruth.
You may
and
want to come over to
By
the
the mic.
microphone.
Or move the microphone to you, either way,
Yeah.
but you have to be near it.
My name is Ruth and I met you, well, I'm
Yeah.
sure last time. I
Yep.
just want to introduce 2 new items that we are making. We have the glasses. These are glasses that can be used for candle lights. They can be used for, we initially created them for mezcal, because mezcal is a special Mexican drink that you can only, there's a way to drink it like with a thicker glass than a shot.
Yeah.
But we found out that a lot of people like them for candles too.
Yep.
So, yeah, I want to pass them around. Is
Yes,
that okay?
please.
Excuse me.
You wanna take a look at it? We offer them either with a plate or without it. So it's just whatever the people want, which usually, I'm just showing you different kinds, but they usually go. together. You can mix and match, you can do whatever you want. But this is how they usually go. See?
Can you pass it around? Sure.
I know.
We do.
Is this alabaster?
It's, onyx is what we call alabaster or calcite, outside or onyx. I mean, people know it with different,
The core of it.
About blocks of granite then.
Mhm.
How much is this?
Big machinery.
Well, each glass is $12.
Okay.
If you want the whole thing, if you want the whole set, it'll be 120. If you want the whole set.
Very heavy.
Rock.
Well, the glasses are heavy as well.
Ruth, are you finished talking? Or
I
did
have
you-
something else to
All
show
right,
you.
okay, let's go ahead. Yeah, keep going. Go.
Two hands.
Okay, it's heavy. I'm just trying to figure it out.
I also have these balls. These ones are carved from a rock, from a big rock. And you start by chiseling it and then you grind it. I think I put, I don't know, I
Yeah,
put
the
some
video.
videos today
Yeah.
and
Oh,
some,
wow.
but I don't know if I did it too late.
No, you're good.
Yeah, okay.
That's
What kind
gonna
of
be
rock,
heavy.
what kind of rock is that, Alan?
Well, it has different names. We know it as Mexican onyx, but it's also known as
This is
alabaster. It's also
so
known as
great.
calcite.
Looks beautiful.
I mean, you can find it, that type of stone, you can find it for different names.
So you chisel that all out?
Not, you chisel the big parts out.
Okay.
And then you use a, like a grinder, then you pass it all.
That's funny.
And then at the end, you use an acid to,
And what does that sell for?
that one sells for $4.90. That one, it
That
is,
is exceptional.
It is exceptional. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
There were, fractures in it. Are those are sealed already or?
those are part of the stone.
They're part of the stone. That's,
Yeah.
okay, good.
Mhm. So those imperfections are just part of,
Gorgeous. I
of
love
the
it.
big,
I love
of
it.
the big
Beautiful.
stones. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
That's size.
At this point, you ju-
That's a sweetheart.
That is gorgeous. Really, super quality.
Ruth,
Strawberry
describe
daiquiri, I
the
think.
process of
We do that.
making the glasses in the tray, please.
So this one you do it with a, sorry, my English is not so well, but drill.
Uh-huh.
So you get a piece of stone. Usually we make this ones out of what's left from other things.
Mhm.
So you get the piece of stone and you drill it with water.
Mhm.
You drill it, and then once you get it's not gonna look like this, it's gonna look something more rough. But once you get kind of like, it could be big like this.
Mhm.
So once you get something, a cup, let's just say a big cup, then you use a saw. And you saw it to the size that you want it. If you want something bigger, you saw it bigger, whatever size you want it. And then with it's
Polisher?
polisher, with the polisher, we have different polishers. We have one that is really strong, that polishes big pieces of stone. And then we have another one that is really soft. So you have to pass it through different polishers.
Mhm.
Once, that's for this ones. Once you pass it, then it's just polish and acid, pretty much. Depending on how glossy you want it, if you want it more glossy, like maybe this one's a little more glossy, you put more acid, you polish a little more, and after this one makes it glossy.
Yeah.
Um,
They're beautiful.
so it's just depending what you want, but for the cups, any type of cup, you do have to use a drill, and it's a drill that you
Okay.
pretty much put on the big stone, and then you take out like a big piece of cup, and then you get the shape that you want.
Any other
Mhm.
questions?
Any other board questions?
So assuming since you're adding new stuff, you're doing well.
Yeah, I mean, it's some days it's good, some days it's not so good, but
Well, good, no, we're glad to hear you, and it's good you're adding new products. so it's
it
nice.
is what it is, so yeah,
Thank you.
Is the rest of your booth onyx craft as well?
yeah, yeah.
Do you ever sign it or engrave your initials or something so that people could really, see that beauty in it? That bowl was
Mhm.
exquisite.
We've been
I mean,
thinking about
honestly.
it, and we can do it, if somebody
should.
if somebody tells, we do custom made everything. we can do mirrors and we can put names if they want names or if they want.
I mean,
I think
your
you should
name.
sign in your
Oh,
art, like it's
already.
like an art piece.
No, I never thought.
Oh, you
But
should.
you should, I think
It's
it makes a
lovely.
difference. I think people
Yeah.
love the idea of the artist son.
It is art.
It is art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's also my husband and my dad and me, so some of the things my husband or my dad made
But
it, so.
even, the company name even on it, though,
Yeah,
you
that
know,
would be a good
because
thing.
they're
Yeah,
very unique.
yeah,
Gorgeous.
yeah, I never thought about it until now.
Any other questions for Ruth?
Nope.
How about a motion?
I'll move that we approve Casa Colors additional glasses and bowls.
Thank you so much.
I'll
Second.
second, I'll second.
Let's vote. Mitchell,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
I say yes, Celia,
Yes.
and Cheryl.
Yes.
Thank you, Ruth.
Thank
very
you
good.
so much, guys.
you.
I appreciate
job,
it.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful stuff.
Thank you.
Mr. Quintus, are you ready?
Yes.
Very good. As soon as Ruth is out of the way, you are welcome to come to the microphone. Yeah, sure. Whatever you'd like. We never turn down food.
This sounds like, let me move my camera.
Yeah, and I didn't even know that it was.
Marcus more in some of that.
I'll have to live vicariously through all of you and watch your faces as you eat the food.
Mitchell will eat your portion.
Yes. Two, please.
Thank you. Little baby beignets. Yeah.
Of the jambalayas, yeah.
Fish, chicken. Where, here?
Yeah.
That's macaroni and cheese.
Oh.
It's America's favorite. You know.
Ooh, Cheryl. So good.
Yeah.
Num num, Cheryl.
Right. I read that agenda,
I'm jealous.
but I missed the pudding, guys.
I bought some of their pudding the other day. It was really wonderful.
Have you had the pudding?
I have not,
It's amazing.
but
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, you doing?
Please.
All right, Quintus, I'm from New Orleans. I've been out here in Palm Springs about 2 years now. And, my big dream is to, make people happy with eating food. That's one of my pickies. I managed a restaurant for 15 years in New Orleans. The Chime Feast, one of the top restaurants in Louisiana. I just come out here, try to bring some of my new flavors to the venue or whatever.
good.
And then this cup here, we have, red beans and rice with sausage. This would be our, 3 cheese mac and cheese. Chicken sausage. Catfish and, beignets.
and yet,
And those are just a few samples, and also we'll be doing crawfish etouffees, shrimp etouffees, and whenever food, I'll be able to do gumbos and stuff like that.
Where are you getting the crawfish?
Walmart.
Where?
Yeah, restaurant on Depot.
Are you a trained chef or are you a learned chef?
I could say maybe I learned something because when I first started in the kitchen, I was a dishwasher. And then, like I said, I managed the restaurant I managed in Louisiana. I was the only manager in that company that worked every station, so
Right.
I guess I'm trainer, yeah. My dad said more of a chef, I'm a cook for a chef.
No, I mean, you're a definite chef.
Yeah.
It's very delicious.
Oh, yeah,
I was
we
just
had a
wondering
term,
whether
like-
if you
Yeah.
learned through experience or learned through school.
Oh, kind of both, yeah.
Okay.
So are you anywhere else, or do you have are you a food truck, or are you a,
I'm just trying to start up my own pop-up, yes.
okay, so have
Right
you,
now, I actually work at, Boucher.
oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I've been there for a year and a half now. And I was at
Delicious.
Zan's
Yeah,
before.
very good, really good.
Really good.
In Sun Center.
The mac and cheese is a little sweet for me.
The
Is
sweet,
it,
yeah.
is it the kind of cheese you use?
The milk,
Oh, the milk, okay.
yeah, soy milk.
Ah.
Oh, soy milk,
Yeah.
that's why, I knew it tastes different, yeah. Very good.
Delicious.
I'm gonna make a motion that we accept, Hughes Creole and Soul into Village Fest.
I'll stop chewing so I can second that motion.
All right, let's vote. We're all, this went fast. Mitchell,
Yes.
Yes,
I say yes, it's delicious.
Yes.
And Cheryl,
Yes, I trust your taste buds from a distance.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
very good.
Very good food.
A nice addition too to our,
Yeah.
to our variation of food there.
Oh, wait.
What's the other days are?
Oh, no.
Because they're hard to get stuffed in like.
Jashawn, are you here? You will be next. And Omar, are you here? Is Omar here? Do you need to set up? You need some time to set up? Are you going to? Oh, you're ready to go. Okay, so.
Hello, my name is Sean from Edible Arrangements. We're a gift shop in Cathedral City, and we just specialize in chocolate dips, strawberries, bananas, pineapples, anything sweet really. And I know you guys are just finishing up, but I have a few samples in case you guys wanted to try some things out.
Sure.
Bring it on.
Yeah. Boy, when edibles just started, oh my gosh.
You bring some edibles?
I know.
Toothpicks, you know.
I'm actually the new owner, about 2 months ago now. Yeah, we're just trying to.
So
expand our business.
when they first started, the whole edible arrangements, it was all like,
Fruits.
yeah, like stuff
It
stuck in
still
a.
is. They
Yeah,
still
it's
do
called
that.
arrangements, floral arrangements.
Oh, wow.
So pretty when they do
Oh,
that.
man.
I love that.
And we do platters, we do cheesecakes, brownie,
I don't know. What do I want? What is it?
apples.
There were discount coupons in here if anybody wants.
Good to know.
Yeah,
Okay.
let me find them and I'll pass it out. So good.
Delicious.
Your name's Alex?
No,
My name is
just-
Jatan.
Deshaun, how are you keeping these cool in the hot summer?
Oh, we have a insulated bag with ice packs.
Okay.
So we actually kind of a delivery business, so people order from out of state, for the parents.
No, I get that, but I mean, in the Village Fest,
Oh, yeah, we have an ice tray, like an ice chest, and we've done this before. I've sponsored local museums, Cabo Pablo and DHS, for example. We had a little stall and we just gave them out for free to people to try. And that's where I got the idea for this, just because it sold out. So we didn't charge anything. We just started giving free cups to the kids. We were out in like 10 minutes.
so that's your intention here at Village Fest is just to give out free samples?
Oh, we'll be selling this, but that was what gave me
Okay.
the inspiration to start this.
All right.
Yeah.
So you'd be selling platters.
It'll be more of cups. I just wanted you guys to try what we do. It'll be cups instead of,
So you
already.
can walk with it and.
Absolutely, yeah.
But you normally do
That's
big arrangements,
We do
right?
do big
Yeah,
arrangements. Yeah, that probably won't work, but.
But you would hand out literature to say,
Like this,
Yes, like
right?
coupons.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Pictures would be nice, yes, of the arrangements, because it is lovely to get one,
Oh, yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, to get one instead of flowers, maybe something.
Yeah, something that won't, go back.
Oh, God, I just had a birthday
Dan, we missed
for
it. I'm
next
sorry.
birthday.
Did you? What's
Keep
your
me in
birthday?
mind, June 2nd.
any other questions for Jason?
Nope.
Lovely.
Are we ready for a
So wait,
motion?
and do you do delivery?
Yes, that's actually part of it. So people will just call in an order and we deliver to wherever we deliver within, I would say 20 miles.
I need to.
In all of the valley.
Yeah. So, would it be your intention to allow people to order on the website and to list pickup at Village Fest on the website?
I haven't thought about, that's actually a great idea. We can do that. but-
That would require more.
You
That
can't
would
do
be a
that
little
because you
difficult,
can't use the Village Fest brand.
Oh, that's
So-
not
and because someone else was doing that and it became an issue, so.
Okay.
Remember that?
You can't use the Village Fest bag.
Remember that somebody had on their website, they had, you can order delivery or pick up at Village Fest on Thursday
You
night?
remember why we denied that?
Yeah.
It wasn't for the branding.
What was it for?
It was because
What
the
they were
items
selling.
that they were asking to be picked
Oh,
up were
yeah.
inappropriate.
Oh, I'm
Oh.
sorry, then I take that back.
Yes, yes.
Then- Okay, thanks for the,
Yeah.
I
thanks for that
remember that.
reminder.
That's correct.
Now my mind is wandering. Okay.
And where in Cathedral City are you located?
On Palm Canyon, next to
Oh.
Trilusa.
Yeah.
Same-
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
right there in the movie theater.
Yeah.
Oh,
Where like the Roost is and
Yeah.
Capezi's
Yeah.
and all that?
Yeah,
Oh,
same little
oh,
area.
wow.
Great.
Okay, yeah.
And you're the new owner?
The new one.
I'll be ordering it.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I've actually been to VillageFest. My sister plays in Heatwave, the band, and that's how, everyone's just walking around having a good time.
Yeah.
We could.
All right,
Awesome.
good.
Awesome.
Motion?
I'll make a
move to
motion.
Go ahead.
You go ahead.
I'll move to approve, edible arrangements.
I'll second.
Let's vote. Celia?
Yes.
I say yes. Dan?
Yes.
Mitchell and Cheryl.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Yay.
I did bring some cheesecakes and brownies. I'm not sure how we can share this, but
We'll fight.
We actually arm wrestle at the end of the meeting. See who gets to bring the food.
I don't know.
Best of luck with your new business.
Thank you.
Thank you.
you.
Yeah, I love that.
He's young, yeah.
Very good food, Jeff.
Next up is Omar Leon with El Reaper.
Guys, good
Can you read
afternoon.
your
My name is Omar Lone and I'm my brother Alan, my partner,
Thank you.
and we are a Reaper Chicken. Our concept for our chicken is we fry the chicken, but it has a Mexican flair. So we started this back in 2021. I started from home. And this is before Dave's Hot Chicken or El Chick-fil-A had got out here, unfortunately. They got here, but we want to change it up. So instead of only having one flavor with just variants of heat, we changed every flavor. So it goes from jalapeno to cayenne, to mango habanero, to chile limon. So we made that difference to where you could find that Mexican flair. We've even made adobada flavor or mole flavor in our chicken.
What do you think?
So,
I've had their chicken before, it's really good.
thank you, thank you.
So you're a food truck?
Yeah, so we're a food trailer. We started from home. Then from home, we went to a dive bar. We're working there for about a year. And then recently in August of last year is when we got our food trailer. We just started, getting a lot of events and building a lot of traction. We actually had we worked with Lululemon and MLS with Golden Voice this year. It was really, just started getting a lot of traction. We started liking our food, so that's what we do.
Nice.
Very nice.
Where else are you,
I do like food truck Fridays, and we do a lot of city events. But yeah, we just move on.
okay. So,
Is Food Truck Friday, is that in Desert Hot Springs?
That is in India.
Oh, in India.
Yes.
Okay.
Good idea.
Oh, your food is right there.
And your food doesn't have any spice in it. We just like
Oh.
get a complete cake.
So what's your hottest spice?
Reaper.
Reaper?
Thank you.
And what is that?
It's a Reaper, Carolina Reaper.
A Carolina Reaper,
Yeah,
all right.
it's the pepper that we use.
yeah, thank you. No.
Where did you, so how did you start making this again?
Oh, we work from home in the micro kitchen. So we got,
Okay, so you did a micro,
Yeah,
home
we did
economic,
the permit from home.
a MECO? Okay.
yeah,
That was fun.
that's how we started getting people to come to the house. I know a lot of people thought it was strange. It's like, I'm going to a house to come and get.
It's a
food.
whole thing now.
Yeah, it is. But
I
it,
mean, you can, there's a whole program now here
Yes.
for MECOs or MECOs. whatever
There's a
they're
little
called.
spice in this, right?
a little bit.
A little
yeah, very
bit.
tiny.
So
Oh,
Omar,
I'm
just
with
fried chicken. I mean, if you want a chicken drumstick and a
So
thigh.
we mostly work with like chicken breast, so we do like tenders,
Okay,
things like that. We actually usually do Caesar salads. And we added the smash burger to something also that we started. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the smash burger,
Mhm.
the LA trend that just kind of blew up.
yes.
So you just smash it to
Okay,
complete
tell me
bread.
about that.
Delicious.
Yeah, it's very good.
That's what heyday is. Heyday is much better.
I don't get
That's
smash
what-
burgers.
yeah, that's what-
Any other board questions for Omar?
No,
Oh, did I miss something here? Sorry.
I think it's gonna do well.
I do
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
it's delicious.
Love it.
And is this the way it's gonna be presented? Because there's a sustainability,
Oh,
This
yes,
is-
yes.
good.
So that's how we serve all of it.
We'll make sure they have all the
Okay.
information, because they'll have to.
Ultimately,
use
you'll-
The styrofoam.
Oh.
Ultimately,
Okay.
you'll have to switch over to something that's
Gotcha. Yeah, no
compostable.
problem. We could do
Because the city has put that in place for all restaurants, and we're in the process of rolling it out now, so some vendors have already switched
Oh,
over.
okay.
And you'll get some guidance from staff on that, but you'd have to do that.
Any questions?
So
for me?
before you invest in a lot of stuff.
yeah, don't buy any more styrofoam.
No, I'll move that we approve Reaper.
I'll second.
Okay, let's vote. See you.
Yes.
I say yes. Dan,
Yes.
Mitchell,
Yes,
and Cheryl.
Yes.
Congratulations.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you for your time.
Great. Thank
Joy.
you.
Like to finish some of the stuff that, I had dinner this.
I had dinner this morning.
I got.
So Ben Vargas, you look like you know you're next. Good.
I got my son there, my daughter.
And Dean said, look, we're having a big, I had no idea we had a whole discussion about this place. And so after the dinner, we went to Tony's Grill and Bar. Have you been?
Yes, so you had a good dinner. You had a nice.
Have you had this rich filet sandwich from there? It was dying for. I love their produce.
Is that the one that's by the car wash?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna try them next.
That's one by the car wash. Yeah, that's.
Okay, this is Creative Treasures Jewelry. This is Ben Vargas.
And my wife Corinne.
And Kareem, hi, welcome.
Thank you for having us. I
We're
really
glad you're
appreciate you
here.
taking the time and
Sorry, it's been a long evening.
I enjoyed every bit of it. It was just amazing to watch you guys. Yeah.
They're gonna
And
write
the
a book about
smell
how
is
crazy
killing me.
bored.
Can I just lick some?
I can't believe you guys.
And my stomach's growling. Did you hear it?
Oh.
Okay, let's start. Oh, that was quick, Green. Okay. Let me give you a background of who we are. I'm fourth generation jeweler. And we used to, my dad and I was a little kid, we just started making jewelry, fixing watches and doing all this thing. I worked for the Navy. We were the jewelers for the Navy for 18 years. And then we branched off myself and bought a company called Fast Fix Jewelry Repairs. I don't know if you've heard of it there. So I was the first one in San Diego, then I went to Montclair, Temecula. So I used to own 3 of those. With all that experience, we decided to continue in the manufacturing of jewelry. And then we got into the restaurant business. So I'm heavily into the jewelry business. And for whatever reason, we got into the restaurant business. In 20 years, we just sold our restaurant.
Ah,
What do you do in your spare time? I'm only kidding, go ahead.
We do.
Yes, we did. I know, that's what everybody says. Are you crazy? Yes, I am. But we have a passion for jewelry. I've always had a passion for jewelry. All these designs have been in my head forever. So we decided to start creating our own line. These are all of our pieces, well, most of them. And we actually design every bit of it. I do it on CAD. I'm one of the few jewelers that actually start my own CAD designs, my own drawings.
around this way?
Yes.
I'll get there.
I have a 3D printer, I have a CNC. I create my own waxes, basically.
So you
And-
make the pendants, but you don't make the chains, right?
The chains, no, nobody makes chains. Yeah,
So you
those
buy
are,
the chain on a roll.
I supply them, yes. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna pass these around too. These are just waxes that once I, the waxes that I print out and then I create the pieces for that. I'm also gonna pass around some of these molds so you can kind of see real quick.
Is this sterling or?
It's sterling silver and then I have copper on the bracelets.
And there's some copper on the back of these.
Yes, yes.
Oh, these are beautiful. These leather, but those leather.
That is leather. That's one of the
That's the
few
thing.
pieces that I don't make, but I can make those. But I don't usually make those. It's just faster for me to.
I'm gonna pass these down to you.
Thank you. Bring it over here, bring it on.
We're not gonna see her.
I'm also gonna pass around
I just said
Well,
this.
the
So you can take a
problem
look
is-
at. These are
Not the-
the sheets.
Here we go, this one comes to you.
So every single one of those pieces, we're one of the few husband and wife team actually that I don't know anybody who can actually manufacture and do everything. We do it all in Marietta.
You make these little guitars?
I make them. Yes.
Guitars are cool.
I'm actually working, if you see, there's a bass that's right there. There's a wax that's coming up to you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a whole line of musical instruments, guitars, basses.
Wow.
I've had
Basses
requests
wax.
for,
Here's the,
I play saxophone. My wife's a musician as well. So we're gonna have a whole line of musical instruments as well with copper and silver mix. Yeah.
Are these standard? I mean, are they just one size chain?
They're what customers really want. I have a backup of chains, so if they
Okay.
say they want a 20-inch, we'll give them a 20. So they
Okay.
want a 24.
Okay, great.
We have extenders, yeah, and since we're the jewelers, we actually, on the premises, they say, well, I'd like this chain on this or that, and we switch it right away. So we do it all on the premises.
So you are making these or you're not?
I'm not making those currently. I can, but it's the time
So
involved.
you're
in that.
not looking to have these in your booth?
No, we want.
Yes, we want to add
You
the
can't if you don't make them.
Yeah, that's the only, I make about 95% of my jewelry, we make.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything that you see, everything else we make.
So just so you know,
Yes.
100% of the pieces have to be made by you. Each piece, let's say let's say that you make this, right? That
We
you
do make
this, okay? So the fact that you don't make this part,
We do.
this is, let's say you didn't, let's just say that was on a chain or like those, the race.
Correct.
chain. It has to be 75% handmade, so we consider the pendant to be 75% of the work.
Oh, I see
Right.
what you're saying.
So but these you couldn't.
Okay,
Okay, we can make some.
then I can make them. And
So
I
you'd
can
have
show
to
you.
come back in and jury them.
Absolutely.
after you- Yep.
Absolutely.
But the rawhide
going, it's time.
But the ones with the metal that they have
That, yeah, they can,
made,
yeah.
those would be.
Fine.
Yes, correct, correct.
Yeah. as long as
Beautiful
they-
work, I have to say,
It's
very
beautiful.
meticulous
Really
work.
Thank you. It is unique. You won't find this anywhere because we created.
Oh, I made these. We
Oh,
found
yeah.
these shells at the beach
Okay.
This is a neat
and
story.
They should keep giving back.
and then we drill holes in them and we.
Oh, my
put,
goodness.
I gave
we
it to
already
them, but I
shifted
gave it back to
the
them.
angle.
Yeah.
And
These
then
already, you already
we
saw.
beat
it.
these out, so we make them.
Oh, wow.
There's the wax too, if you want to pat the
Yeah.
molds.
Yeah, that just shows you how the waxes come out of my wax machine.
There, please.
And see,
Peaches on.
they've stamped
Peaches.
theirs at the back with their initials. CTJ.
Like again, don't make the chains.
I think that
just-
really adds a lot to it.
For sure. Delicate.
Oops, I got something.
So you
Well,
make
that's
the
what the-
wax
Right,
mold from this, or you make this from the wax mold?
The mold there, the mold that you see there is what I inject with the machine and it injects wax.
makes
Then it
that.
gets cold and I pull that wax out of that mold.
Oh, okay.
And then from there, let me show you something else. From there,
Oh, here we go.
I put those waxes that you have there on a tree very similar to this.
Yeah.
And it creates the whole wax tree. Then I
Oh,
encase it in cement, heat it for 12 hours, which she's not very happy about 12 hours running that machine.
Or they have to wait for it to get.
I know. And the wax melts. And then once the wax is gone, I put it in a kiln, heat this up at, 1,000 degrees, pour the silver in, and then it creates all the pieces.
Oh
Actually.
my God, the little mouse.
I like how you have, one of the things that I like, it is lovely, is that you have your initials stamped on the back.
I do. Creative
helps
treasure
with
jewelry
the-
is all.
Well, it really helps with the authenticity of the handmade nature of it and that it's not imported.
I agree. It's made
I
by
like
us.
that.
Yeah, you agree.
Like the.
So can we talk about these pieces?
And then.
Absolutely.
These are shells, so clearly you
Okay.
glue the shell. Is that a shell or is it something you make?
What happened is that my wife and I went to La Jolla. And
Shut up.
we were
This
at the
is
beach
process.
and it was around this
Yeah.
time, June or July. We saw thousands of shells on the beach. The first thing I said to Karina, I said, hey, all I see were butterflies. So I said, let's just grab a whole bunch of them. We did. We grabbed about 250 shells, pairs. And went home and got them ready, glued them together, put them in resin, and that's what we created, butterflies.
And then you just string the beads or the
She
beads,
brings the bead, yeah.
are they knotted or are they just strung?
Well, I
They made the shell butterfly.
string them with a needle.
Okay,
Yes,
beautiful.
yes, we do tie the knots. We put some glue on the ends and make sure that they're pretty tight.
This
That would blow over in the wind.
Well, the displays are,
I was
yeah,
gonna say, the chains on this are just strung. They're not,
I know. They're not knotted or
they're not,
anything. yeah.
so we have,
Wrapped.
we have not allowed some just strung items. The fact that they do the shells, I mean, I
Well, it's
don't
a
know if that's 75%.
natural material, and then what they do is they take it and they glue it, and then they resin coat it, so.
I know,
We're
I'm-
processing enough of that, so I think the pendant is, I'm still questioning the beats and the
Well,
beads.
so can we call that 75%?
Let me ask you, if that was on a chain, that they don't make the chain, would we
Right.
accept it?
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
There you go.
we would, yeah, okay.
That's what I was thinking.
have have you been to Village Fest?
Oh, many
We love
times.
to
This
go.
is why we're here, because we want to call this our home.
Yeah.
We love this place. Ryan Hellstrom is one of our, he's here, been here for a while. And we love the people.
Where do you live
we
now?
love- Pardon me?
Where do you live?
Marietta.
Oh, and you want to move here?
No, we want to,
Oh,
We
okay.
love the venue here.
I hear
It's a
you. Yeah, yeah,
beautiful.
yeah.
the energy behind this festival is amazing. And that's what we want to have. We love
Absolutely beautiful
people.
work.
Stuff is beautiful, yeah.
When are you looking to start?
On the 21st, if
Soon as
it's
possible.
possible, would be great.
So you're looking for the summertime?
I know.
Yes.
No, we're good. We're happy about.
Yeah.
We're happy with that.
Yeah.
And it's an easy product to have out in the heat. It's not like anything. else.
Yes,
Exactly.
it won't melt.
Like those fruit, I'm a little worried about. The
I
fruit
know.
arrangements.
Yeah, I've done food for 20. I'm like, I don't know how they do it in the heat. So.
And we did some food shows, and yes,
Yeah.
it's a challenging thing.
Cool.
Any other board questions?
Are there any other types of pieces besides what you're showing us here?
As a matter of fact, yes, I'm glad you asked that. I'm working on a new line with pet jewelry that has for example, I have one here, but you really can't see it. It's kind
It
of a
would be
pendant.
along the lines of this,
Mhm.
or this.
Actually, we have one.
It was a little mouse or something on one of the.
Yeah, like that one, but it'll be along the lines of.
It's on that.
Where is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
may not
I have a
know.
whole, like the.
They're all here. Karine, they're all here.
Oh,
Sorry.
Here, they were hoarding them.
This is kind of
Like a little
similar
cat.
to what you see. This is the.
Is it a
wax
cat
for-
or is it a?
It's a cat.
Do a rabbit. Rabbits are so big.
Okay,
And
They have rabbits.
in that type of setup.
Oh,
like
people
that.
are gonna like that.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, it would be.
Oh, the dragonfly.
Yes,
Dragonflies are so
dragonflies,
popular right now.
Yes, I love
They're
dragons.
so popular.
And then this is kind of what they look.
These are so
You can
delicate.
see just. It's hard to see,
Yeah,
but
that's
if
kind
you
of
look at the bird, look for it.
What about polishing cloths and-
I don't know if you can see it. Really, you can't.
And what are your?
But the dogs are.
Prices running in?
And the-
Oh,
you see the
Price-wise,
paws. This is just a hole. Yeah.
Some of the things start at
And-
20, like these will be like $20.
Good work on it.
And the pure server bracelets like this will be about
Big dog.
140, 145, and so everything's in between. I would say that these are about 59 to 60 to 70, 75.
Little delicate ones.
Those ones run $35.
Oh, my gosh.
That's a good price point for
That
that.
is a good price.
Yeah, we like to move
And the
things.
the
Yeah.
pendant is sterling
All
silver.
of it's sterling,
The chain is what?
sterling silver.
Really, for
That's a
$35?
great price.
That's great, yeah.
Any other questions?
Yes.
I'm gonna buy one.
I see also on here that you have polishing cloths and jewelry cleaner
Yes.
on here.
Okay, so I forgot, the jewelry cleaner is a little like vibrating machine. I did not bring that one, I failed to bring it, but these are the polishing cloths. These are the ones that have, bless you, that have like chemical and a little bit of chemical on the inside, and you
Oh,
rub
yeah,
down
yeah,
your silver. So we
They
like
look
to
for gold
offer
inside.
those.
You just give them with your stuff?
No, these ones we charge for, if we can't do it, I understand. We do give away a little mini one with the purchase, it's like the size of
You're
that.
giving it with the product.
We do offer that with
They
us,
didn't make
if it's
it.
purchased.
Yeah.
That's why.
Back to your question. The
Well,
line of
let us,
jewelry
let us finish this.
Okay, go ahead.
Just because,
I just wanted that question.
go,
Because, it's not
It's
made
not- yes,
by
yeah.
you.
Uh-huh.
So it just doesn't fit within the booth parameters,
Okay.
unless you were to sell it, to give it with.
purchase.
How much is
with
it?
Purchase, I
Oh,
mean,
these are $12.99.
But you could add that. You could say necklace plus
Right.
something
And the
for an
cost.
an increased price.
Right.
Oh,
You
I
can
see.
package
but you
it.
can't
Oh.
sell it
Can't sell
separately.
Okay.
Okay,
But as a set, it
Right.
generally is allowed if the board
Right.
allows. it.
okay, I can
That
do
that
that.
makes sense.
Well,
Do
speak
that.
for
Just
them.
increase the price.
They don't always speaking for them, so.
You always do.
David Yerman gives them with their jewelry, because I have David Yerman cufflinks with black.
Oh,
diamonds.
yeah, David Yerman, yeah.
Yeah.
It does look like.
any other
It looks
questions?
exactly like the regular.
No, let's just.
I'm gonna need one.
Just to be clear, the bracelets, the leather bracelets,
I do
Oh,
understand.
yes.
When we get them finished and we do them, I will.
and if you create anything else that we haven't seen, you need to come back in front of us.
Perfect. I'm
for us
more
to-
than happy to.
I
do
just
that.
saw that one.
Yeah.
woman brought her alabaster.
Exactly.
Okay,
Okay.
All right. A motion,
I make a motion that we accept this vendor into Village Fest.
is there a second?
I'll second.
Thanks, Mitchell. Let's vote. Cheryl,
Yes.
Celia,
Yes.
I say yes. Dan?
Yes,
Mitchell,
absolutely.
Yes, thank you.
congratulations.
You
Thank you, guys.
Beautiful.
Thank you, thank you,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
You do beautiful work, I have to
Oh,
say.
thank you.
Get some more so you guys.
This is the kind of product I'm like, does he make it? It
Yeah.
looks so professional.
Well, but that's what we
I
want.
know,
Yeah, we love that.
we love detail, and you see the guitars, the frets are all
Oh,
up there.
yeah.
Those are great. Those will sell. Those will sell
Yeah,
a lot.
and the kind of people that are here just would love this.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very
All
cool.
right.
Good
Well,
job.
thank
Thank
you,
you
thank
Thank you very much.
Thank you for taking.
See you on the
Okay.
street.
We'll see
Faith
you.
has something for you, the instructions.
Don't take her cheesecake though.
Oh, see, you will watch it.
We're keeping an eye. Happy it's back.
Hey, yeah, don't forget your
Wax
wax.
molds.
Okay. Oh my God, the way for
Get out of the way.
this.
Dennis Presley. Hi, Dennis.
Oh, good. I thought it was dessert. It's desert.
Desert.
I'm just happy you guys
That would be ridiculous.
let the Creole food guy in, because I was raised down south.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait to take this home.
Yeah, me too.
So,
Me too.
my name's Dennis Presley. And, if you're wondering, yes, I am related. A distant cousin, but, I represent Desert Brass. I'm, one of the founding members, trumpet player. And, I don't know if you're familiar with what a brass quintet is.
We saw the video.
The video is great.
Okay, you saw the video. That was our first attempt at recording stuff. A little background on the group is, and it was in my letter, we started in 2018 to raise money to help the COD band go to Carnegie Hall and play, which was awesome. I've got a photo on my phone of myself standing on the stage in Carnegie Hall. I had a nice solo. Last night, we took the band, we played Walt Disney Concert Hall
Oh.
in downtown LA.
Wow.
Very nice.
And, so that was really fun. I had a beautiful trumpet piece with the band accompaniment. So I was out front on the stage playing. It was one of those things that I'll remember forever.
Bucket
You know,
list.
it's really great.
Nice memory.
But we formed a group to help raise money for the COD band. But we're not really affiliated with COD, though the COD band now it's a handful of students and a bunch of community people, just like Desert Winds here in Palm Springs. And I've played a few times with them, but they have 17 trumpet players, so they don't really, it's getting to be a bit much. But we continued the group to play, and our goal is not to try to go out and make a bunch of money playing. We enjoy playing, and we need venues to play. And our venues have been like Old Town Artisan Studio. During Christmas, we do Christmas concerts over there for them.
In La Quinta?
In La Quinta,
Okay.
yeah. Victory Gruns is a very good friend of mine. I've known her for years. And so we played there. We played some veteran places and done some patriotic stuff, things like that. And we played the river a couple of years ago, and then it got too hot, so they said, okay, we're gonna stop all entertainment. But one of the things we like to do as a group, and that's one of my questions for you, would be at the river, they came and I talked to them. I said, do you have any coupons or giveaways or anything like that? Because we like to interact with the audience. So we'll play some music for a while and then we'll stop and we'll say, okay, we're gonna have a trivia thing, so we have a bucket there and some sheets of paper and stuff like that. And we'll play a tune. Maybe it's a movie theme. We say, okay, we're gonna, whoever knows the movie, write it down, throw it in the bucket. We're gonna draw out, and whoever we draw out that has the right answer, we're gonna give you a prize, and it could be a coupon for 10% off somewhere or something like that. Or if I meet a veteran and I say, let us play you a song, we play a patriotic tune or the movie themed Band of Brothers or something, and when we're done, I walk over to them and I say, thank you for your service, and I give them a coin.
Oh, that's
And that's something that I do. My son is,
That's gorgeous.
he's 100% disabled with PTSD. And so veterans are really special for me. I'd like to pass this around as well. And there's two lists in there, one sorted alphabetically, one by genre. So if somebody wants to see what we play, they can either look it up alphabetically, or they can say, well, I want to see a pop tune. They can just flip to the back, say, oh, here's all their pop tunes they play. And we're continually adding to our list all the time. So right now there's about 150 tunes or so in there. Wow. And
The video was great. I mean, I love the ensemble. I think it's very different, and I could see it on the street, and I could see you drawing a crowd.
we have a lot of fun, and we do. We draw a lot of people come and stand there for a while and listen to us, and we're different, you know? And like I said, we enjoy playing. We're not out here to make a fortune. We get a few tips, you know? We'll go have a beer after rehearsal. We rehearse every Monday night.
And I think you will. I think your music
Yeah.
will be very popular. You probably know one of our entertainers was just named American
Oh,
Idol of
yeah,
the Year.
absolutely, yeah.
So this is a
Watching
good
that.
launching point for your career.
Well,
And we're gonna get into that.
my wife said, "I will be another career." She's trying to get me to retire. I work 2 full-time jobs already.
We'll have you in Carnegie Hall before you know it.
Well, after we played last night, the director of the band said, he said, you ever played in Chicago? I said, no. And he says, I played there once. He said, but I don't know, much about the city. I said, well, I don't either. I said, but man, we had so much fun in New York. How about going back to New York? So within the next 2 years, the band will be traveling somewhere else to play again. So,
Tour, huh?
yeah, it's just fun to play. I mean, it's just.
Well, you clearly love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It shows.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So I want to answer to what he said about the coupon. I don't think we
We
have
don't have
anything.
any.
We have nothing to offer,
So you
unfortunately.
could certainly go to the other merchants on the
Well,
street.
that's what I would do. I would walk.
The fruit guy will give you
And
these.
say, yeah, that's exactly
Good-
right.
Good promotion for them. So when you give these, then you're giving them out.
Yeah, at the river, I mean, Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory,
Yeah, I think you could do that.
I think
because-
we had a
You can get up
handful
the
of
restaurants
stuff.
too. You can go around and ask. the
That's what I'm
restaurants
talking
what
about.
else
Yeah, they give you a
Randini, yeah.
free appetizer coupon or something, and you give it to them, and that draws business for them as well.
Yeah.
And,
I think that's
It's a
great.
good collaboration. I think
Yes.
that could have a lot of possibilities.
we enjoy it. And when you're playing a brass instrument, I don't know if any of you have ever played a brass instrument. This gets tired
Yeah.
after a while, so, we average
here
probably
too.
10 or 12 tunes in a set for 40, 45 minutes.
That's a
Then we
lot.
take a
Those are
break.
Things like.
So we're looking at 40 or 50 tunes in
That's a lot.
an evening.
Yeah.
It's a lot. So, by doing some of this stuff also gives us a little bit of a rest.
Yeah, give you a break in between.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So,
keep them there.
it helps.
Excellent. Wow.
Ready to vote.
How about a motion?
I'm gonna make a motion that we accept Desert Brass into Village Fest.
And I'll second that.
Very good. Cheryl,
Absolutely.
Celia,
Yes.
I say yes. Dan
Definitely, yes.
and Mitchell.
Yes.
Congratulations. We're glad
Thank
you're.
you. All right, we look forward to it.
And as we say, we'll see you on the street.
All right.
What happened to the guy that had the wind
Yeah.
blowing in his hair?
Oh, Yanni, basically, he's like, yeah, he's like the poor man's Yanni.
Yeah, Marston.
Dawn, you're next. Are you ready?
Scottish, he was a bagpiper.
Yeah.
He was a bagpiper.
You are killing it.
Feels like forever.
Blowing in
but
his
it
hair.
Save the best for last.
That's right.
That's right.
I have some things I need to say.
Okay, sure.
Probably up there now.
Yeah.
What's his name? I can't believe it's not bought.
Pretty. I like it.
Marston.
Who was it?
Marston.
Marston.
That was the guy at VillageFest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking
No.
about someone else, I'm sorry.
Fabio.
Fabio.
Fabio. Yeah, he was
Forget
kind of
Fabio.
Fabio-esque.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
he like,
Yeah.
yeah, Fabio.
He's still doing it, cause
I know he moved.
Who, Flavio, yeah.
yeah,
Where'd he go?
I don't know if I see him on.
I thought it was
on
in Nevada.
Facebook still.
Dawn, you get the endurance award, by the way?
Yeah.
Should. Just get like an automatic pass.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
you
this
come,
is
yeah,
true.
really.
Yeah,
Great.
We were chopped for just a few minutes earlier.
Yeah, yeah, we were
Chopped.
chopped.
Oh, that's pretty.
I
That is
like
pretty,
that.
yeah, that is nice, yeah. Yes, we do.
It's also hypnotizing me there.
You.
Oh, yeah.
Right in front of you.
Oh,
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying, I just don't like.
reminds me of my disco days.
Dragonflies.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, that's
so
beautiful.
pretty.
that is whimsical.
We had so much, I mean, I just brought a little. Okay, so these are twists that would hang, you know,
What do they
from
call that, dream catcher?
somewhere.
Like outside or inside?
Outside or inside, I usually say inside because the weather will, these are glass beads or, none of them are plastic, ceramic or glass. But in time, in the sun, you know, it'll wear something and wind will wear it out. So I usually say inside, but they can always go outside. And they do come with a wire hanger, any hanging piece that you buy, you will get a wire hanger. And I'll just need a couple more pieces.
What's the wire made of?
That is, I believe, stainless steel.
Okay.
That's stainless.
That'll look outside.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Well, those were super sweet.
yeah, they are.
And see, if I buy the wire, I do cut it and I do twist
Yeah.
it. I do
Oh, that's-
all
We're not asking
this.
you to make the
No,
wire.
no, no, this is all, well, this is clearly all handmade art.
Yeah.
You can see that. No
So
question.
I can pass these around.
Beautiful.
Presents,
So much prettier in person too.
cats,
Kind of,
cat people, dragonfly people, dog people. There's another hummingbird piece.
That's what
I mean, I have,
So cute.
I have, lots of different symbols. Butterflies.
So how did you start doing this stuff? Why don't you tell us your story while you're
Okay.
putting stuff
So
out?
I just have two more pieces to lay out and then you can look at them or I'll pass them around. Some of my pieces make noise. Scrap metal art. Okay, so my name is Dawn and my business is Spiritual Twist. And I live in Wildemar, California. And I've been doing Spiritual Twist for 11 years this year. It started, I won't go into major detail, but it started with twist, spiritual twist. My mom would make these and my parents live in Arizona and I would go out and visit and I just thought they were so cool and she was giving them to friends and family. She'd make bracelets with chakra colors and positive words, you know, affirmation words. And I'm all about healing and growing and stuff like that. And I was just like, Mom, you gotta make a business out of this. I go, what are you gonna name your business? And she said, Spiritual Twist. And that's where it all started. I went out there a couple times and we just started creating things and I brought the idea back to California. I got my seller's permit. I got, you know, the name Spiritual Twist, doing business as Spiritual Twist. I got an easy up. I got into a farmer's market. And I started in September of 2013. And at that time, it was bracelets, it was twists, it was necklaces, but all about chakra stuff, you know, positive energy, your body energy, chakra healing, growing. I would give chakra tests. I mean, Spiritual Twist has really, really grown. I did it part-time. I had a full-time job during the week, but I would stay up until like midnight making stuff, beading bracelets, learning about chakras, learning about your energy and how you can heal yourself. just by color, foods, stones, yoga poses, just get your chakras balanced. And so that was how Spiritual Twist started. My parents, I grew up in Arizona in Sedona, and my dad is a metal artist, and he did concrete work also. So there are metal pieces of his all around town. My grandfather, he was a metal artist also. So I've always had metal around, but I never was interested in doing metal. Metal came into Spiritual Twist a little bit later. He has scrap metal everywhere, and he gave me a piece of scrap metal. I put a prism in it, and it sold like that, So that's kind of how metal came into it. But it's always been about, chakras, healing energy. I'm an artist, and I express myself through my artwork. My mom and I make the dragonflies. She does the bodies and I do the wings. And let's see, I know I'm going off.
Can you pass the dragonfly around?
So when you purchase a dragonfly, it is $30. And you do get this hanger with it. You get a description of what it means when the dragonfly comes to you. I also make hummingbirds, which I have
That's very
hummingbirds that I'm
sweet.
about to make for this weekend, because I have somebody who wants a hummingbird special order. I do make bees, I do make ladybugs, I make all kinds of things. And you get a
You
description.
don't make jewelry anymore, right?
Well, I do, but I do 4 markets a week in the Temecula area.
Oh, wow.
I do Old Town Temecula on Saturday, I do Marietta on Sunday, I do Vail headquarters on Tuesday, and I do the Promenade Mall on Wednesday. There, I have 2 hours worth of stuff that I set up in my booth. I sew, I make jewelry, I sell healing stones, I do chakra tests. I have my twists, I have my bracelets, I have my metal. But here, lots of vendors that I know do this event. And they've always said, Dawn, you need to get down there. Your metal art will just kill, And it's like, it is a drive. It is at night. It is a little bit of money, but you know what? My husband and I came down here to go to the event a few weeks ago. I know a lot of vendors here, and they all say they do great. It was a lot of fun. Good things happened. Something cosmic kind of happened while we were here, and I felt like, well, I'll just apply, and I would like to do this as a fill-in. If I could come down here one Thursday a month, that would probably be good for me to start that way. And these pieces right here, like I have bigger pieces, bigger metal pieces. I have so much metal pieces. I don't clean the house, I make art. Ask my husband. I am obsessed. I am an artist, when I have free time, I make art. Moon phases, I'm always designing in my head. I just think.
The reason I asked about the jewelry is that it sounds like the jewelry that you make is strung, right? It's beads strung on wire or,
It's, wire and
strung,
bead
but-
bracelets.
right,
Yeah.
so there, you don't make the beads. So the reason I'm asking is because I don't think those would fit
Yeah,
into our.
I'm not gonna sell the
Okay.
jewelry.
Yeah, she's I was gonna ask, so you're looking to sell the metal art,
Yes.
basically?
Today, I almost sent Faith a note saying, can I add, I make earrings. So I cut the wire, I wrap the wire, I pound the wire, and I've just started doing that. And I mean, I put the earrings out and they sell copper
Those should
or
fit, right?
sterling silver.
Yeah,
Yeah, those should fit, absolutely.
Okay,
You just can't string beads and make a bracelet of just string beads and
Okay.
sell that. It's-
but the twist,
Part of it, though.
It's
It's part of the whole.
Yeah.
so
What do you
can
think?
this be, I mean,
No, that's, you clearly made
Yeah,
that.
no, it's
That's-
it's gorgeous,
yeah.
yeah, no, those are fine. There's nothing that you showed us here that you couldn't sell on.
so what I wanna sell, what I would like to sell at your event, is I kind of want to make it a little bit easy for me if I'm driving an hour and a half here, right? And I'm setting up, I kind of just want to sell my standing metal, my hanging metal, my beings, And then my twists, and let's see if I.
And
could
if you want
my
to do those
earrings
earrings,
too.
yeah, you could have them too.
But you could also, if you have other things down the road that you want to incorporate, you could come back and be
Right.
rejuried and add those.
And I have to tell you, all my metal stuff is different. Everything is unique and
Yep.
custom. So. I mean,
No two pieces the same.
no, I
So you
mean,
source the Corten steel, or you source plain steel and then you Corten it? Do you
this
treat it?
is actually, like I said, my dad's a metal artist.
This is scrap
This is
metal.
scrap metal art.
Oh,
This right here is a piece of scrap metal, right? This right here is a piece of scrap metal.
how'd you
I-
rust it?
It's out in his yard.
Oh,
here,
okay,
so
okay,
yeah,
that's how it
this
comes,
is,
yeah,
this
okay.
is, this is a rusty saw blade,
Yeah.
you know? And I just have these pieces that
So
that
don't treat
were,
it Corten, it's just,
Yeah.
it's
Were-
natural.
were cuts from another piece of art that I did, like
Yeah.
this cat right here. Hey, this cat I welded onto a stand and I'm gonna sell the cat too.
Yeah.
You know, but let me sell this, you know, I am using scrap metal as art.
It's very
Something
cool.
that would be.
No, I think it's
Very,
it's
very,
wonderful, yeah.
very cool.
Yes.
So everything is unique.
I
and
love all of
original, and.
How much are the
made-
pieces running?
Okay, this piece right here is a desert bloom, and this one is 125. This is a smaller piece. I've done 5 pieces like this, but they've all looked different.
Yeah.
I mean, I have customers who want special order stuff, so this is 125.
Yeah.
This piece would be 75. This is amazing. This prism is amazing in
Yeah.
the sunlight. This hanging piece would be 75 also. It does make noise. I would do this one for 45 because it has the 3 glass prisms.
So they're all within.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's all beautiful.
Twists are all $30. Any of these are 30. Any of my beings, any of my little creatures are 30. And like I said, they will get a description of what it means when they come to you.
It's stainless
So-
and she coiled.
That's
Okay.
sweet.
That's-
Dawn, I think your work is beautiful and I think it will be very popular.
Yeah, I do too.
I hope you have ample inventory because I think it will sell. I'm glad you called that desert bloom because I was gonna say maybe a little bit more desert centric considerations for you to think
Oh.
about in your artwork. And another thing, this being a very tourist town, the Palm Springs name has cachet, so anything Palm Springs that you might think of to do in metal would be very popular.
Cactus.
Very
So I have
popular.
to tell you, I do my metal art in Arizona because that's where the plasma cutter is
Yeah.
and the welder is. But I cut things and I bring things home and that's my hanging stuff.
Yeah.
So at home, I was asking my husband, do I bring the coyote? I have a big coyote that I
that-
just cut out of an old metal tabletop that my dad used for years.
So this,
I have a roadrunner, I have quail,
Perfect.
yeah,
That's
so those could be used like a lawn ornament.
oh, yeah,
And if you have your landscape lighting shining on it, you have this
yeah.
giant coyote on the front of your
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
It's so cool. Judy has the Roadrunner. Yes, I love
Really,
that
really
one.
beautiful. Love
Or
the stuff.
like I was gonna bring a metal piece that was a moon and stars. Yeah, put a light behind that and it's gonna show, on your
Yeah.
building.
Yeah.
So,
This
yeah,
stuff is very cool. And
Yeah.
people
Sustainable.
love outdoor art here as well, things you can, because we actually have regular art hanging on the back. On the back of my house, there's a huge painting. Because it's a little covered patio and it's indoor art, but that's what we do here
yeah.
because of the weather. But they love these. They're beautiful.
beautiful stuff.
Yes.
So like I said,
And it's priced affordable. which
I
is
would
great.
like to come once a month and I know I
That's
may
not
be
an issue, right?
asking a lot, but
Yeah,
okay,
that's fine.
so
That's fine.
so
She didn't do her
spot
ask yet.
spot number 128 is next.
Now here it goes.
Is next to Kilted Craftsman.
Uh-huh.
Robert is a wood.
Yes. we know it.
Vendor,
Yeah.
and then the person who's a space, see, Sam used to be in number 128, he made pens.
Yeah,
make
I know
custom
exactly who he is.
pens.
Yeah.
So, see, I know a lot of people here.
Yeah.
But yeah, Robert said that I should ask to get in, spot number 128. But I'm just saying, if I was to call, on a Monday and say, do you have spot number 128 this coming Thursday? I feel like I just would feel comfortable me being here by myself if I was next to Robert, somebody that I knew. And the other vendor who does the acrylic lit things. He used to be next to me at a different market. I just wanted to.
You'll
ask.
know people here in
yeah,
5 minutes,
let's,
Wendy, just so you know, it's the
The
friendliest.
board doesn't make decisions
Yeah.
regarding spacing, so let's approve
have to
her and then
negotiate
you can
that
take
with-
it up with staff.
Okay.
And we'll deal with that.
So I'll move that we approve Spiritual Twist.
Is there a second?
I'll say.
I'll second it.
Cheryl, Cheryl, thank you. So let's vote. Cheryl,
Yes.
Celia,
Yes.
I vote yes, Dan,
Yes,
and Mitchell.
Yes.
Yeah. Very good.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I love your stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you.
it's
Really
great.
good.
Thank
And
you.
they'll work with you on your.
Showing the space, yeah, take that up with staff.
And in a lot of the home renovations here, I'm seeing a lot of people using Cortan steel outside for different things, for little
Yeah.
borders in their garden. One of them in our neighborhood has a whole, it's an I-beam setup with scarf fabric over it, like as a shade cover. The house on the corner of Livermore, where our sign is.
Oh.
That house has it,
Yeah.
beautiful, that's the shade cover in the backyard, and it's all Cortan, well, and they actually have a lot of Cortan on their.
All right.
Very cool. You're very talented, yeah,
Thank you
It's
very
lovely.
much.
Very
and I
nice
love the
stuff.
whole chakra thing around it, you know, that,
Yeah.
that's very cool.
And the
And you know,
music.
I am there for people when they come in, when you see my booth, you're gonna wanna come in, you're gonna feel the energy the moment you come in, so.
Awesome.
yes.
Yes, okay.
I
Well,
hope
that's-
that it's recycled, sustainable,
Oh, yeah, that's
all of
so-
that part of it that we didn't really touch on, but
Great point.
you know, maybe there's other vendors that we have too, that maybe sustainability would like to, I don't know, something.
Feature
something.
or-
They might wanna
Or
something,
acknowledge.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
right? Acknowledge, that's the word.
Yeah, yes, that's good.
If they have an event, maybe they would like them there,
Yeah.
you know.
Let's move on. so
Yes.
We can,
Go home.
Eventually.
into unfinished business. Anything on sustainability, Jasmine?
We have nothing new. We are on track. Faith and I just mentioned that we need to make sure that the people applying have the information beforehand. So we're gonna work on that so that by the time they come to you, especially moving forward, they are providing the appropriate products in line with our guidelines.
Because we're getting closer to the deadline.
Yeah. For food, yes.
Okay. Anything on sidewalk vendors?
No updates.
I think item C, Beth, and body products can be taken off because it's really under new business.
Well, it actually should go under, it should not be under new business
Yeah.
anymore. It should be under old business. So
Okay.
we'll remove it from new business.
Okay, and while we're on that, while it will become old business, but I recall that we were going to have a discussion with Jeffrey Ballinger, who is the city attorney, about what we should and should not ask or put out in front
Wellness
of
claims, right?
Yeah.
vendors,
Mhm.
you know, and maybe make a sheet that's with the application form that says, I'm aware of this requirement, I'm aware of this requirement, I'm aware of this requirement. So that we're not enforcement, but we're just making them attest to the fact that they understand their responsibility as a vendor. Did I say that correctly, Jasmine?
Yes,
And you're going to,
I will do that follow-up.
okay,
Why do we still have sidewalk vendors on here though?
Just so I can keep you
Any
updated.
changes?
Yeah,
I
Just in case there's any, okay.
I
Gotcha.
kind of sit on the city's committee for
Okay,
it, so I'll have updates after we have meetings.
Okay.
What don't you say?
I know.
reports and requests, anything public? I'm not sure if that category means. Any board comments regarding reports and requests?
Anything from Main Street report?
She's next.
No, nothing really. I had some issues, went to Jasmine and Faith. They handled them as always. No sense even needing to discuss them. I am wondering though, what's going to happen this summer in regards to the layout
Thank you.
of
Thanks
VillageFest.
very much, guys.
And, you know, what's gonna happen with the layout and the shrinkage. And what staff might be anticipating as far as a percentage
Good
of loss in the summer. Some years are better than others,
Yeah,
so.
so Faith and I just met on that. Was it today or yesterday? Yeah. And we talked just a little bit about the retention of the vendors in that block and what that looks like. So right now, there's a decent amount of vendors to keep the block open. And if that should change, we'll obviously let you and the board know immediately if we're gonna have to change, reconfigure traffic pattern.
Is
for
that the
street
barista
closure.
block?
Yeah, Arenas to Bristow.
Okay.
Yeah, last year we ended up, 3 to 4 vendors and it was
Yeah.
just easier to move them over and then
Yeah.
open that block to vehicular traffic.
What is the preference of the downtown merchants to?
Well, I
to
don't wanna
shrink it
be
in?
crazy here,
Mhm.
but I'd say there's a good chance that in the summer you might wanna look at car displays. Maybe
my
even, no, I mean it.
Oh, joy. You've just taken all our joy.
People love it, and if there
Talk
is
about full
somebody that
circle.
can manage that. You know,
We talk about full circle.
There's a big car show here that's
She has
coming
no
in
preferences.
October.
Mhm.
They have 600 cars coming to a car show here that will be between, between Amato and Tuckwitz. At least that's the plan right now. So I mean, there could be other things that could help fill in there because you
So
can't.
something display, you're saying? It
Yes,
doesn't have to be cars.
doesn't have to be
Okay,
cars.
yeah.
It could be,
Golf carts?
it could be
Well,
Harleys. Oh,
Mhm.
yeah, that too.
Bicycles,
But
yeah.
I just, it was a problem because it wasn't that the street was empty so the merchants there could do something with it. There was like 10 vendors, so
Right.
then they can't do anything there. And so that's where the problem came in that they have described.
All right, so just explain to me what you mean by that. So if we were to clear that block and move everyone up, so we would end at Arenas, right?
Mhm.
The block between Arenas and Barista, what do you mean by like the vendors can't do anything with it? In other words, they would want to put things out in the street, you're thinking?
No, I'm thinking they'd rather just have the
Vehicular
street
traffic.
open.
So we wouldn't be
on
closed
their
that far down.
block.
That's what
Right.
okay,
Yeah.
now I get it, yeah.
We
I love
changed
that.
the traffic pattern so that the east and west traffic can turn on Arenas and then go
Yes.
southbound.
That's great.
And then it's open, so then at least they get parking spaces as opposed to
Right.
dead space.
And the
It's
businesses
also
don't
better
mind that, as
look.
a matter of fact, they prefer it.
For sure.
It's a better look for the.
That's what I heard
restaurant.
last year.
Okay, good.
I would touch up that
But it's a
question
safe
again.
assumption at this point.
Yes, I
Okay.
think
Like it
so.
closed?
No, that they
Open.
would rather it be open unless you have a good amount of
So, like,
vendors
open,
on it.
right,
Yeah,
yeah.
like have the street
So you can
open
pull
for.
in front of the place, you can
Yeah.
park there.
Right, so,
We drive
and so, obviously, since closing and we've come back, we've gotten more vendors, and so
Mhm.
that's what I was speaking with Jasmine about
It
earlier.
might work.
But we do lose them in that area, and it's hard to keep it open, but then when we close them, and we bring them into the event, and then the vendors start coming back, I run out of space within Fast. that perimeter.
Mhm.
So I like your idea, to be honest, because
I
if we could-
realize
anything to bring traffic down there.
it's complicated, I
Yeah.
know, but so I'm just putting out there as another possibility, when you're thinking about it. And I would confirm with the
Mhm,
businesses on that
mhm.
block that they're cool with that, because as you know, sometimes we have one restaurateur that says one thing and then 7 others
Say
that are
something
telling me something else, and, it's.
So are
hard
you
to-
advocating for keeping it closed and using it
If-
to display
I'm-
something, or are you advocating for us to shrink together and then have that
Neither.
open?
I need to ask them first.
Oh, okay.
About it to make sure before I really wanna stick my
Okay.
foot in my mouth right here, so that's all.
Okay.
Thank
Logistically,
you.
staff wise, we prefer for it to stay closed. It's easier for the return of vendors and when the season returns. So for us, we would rather keep it closed and find something that works for the merchants as well as works for Village Fest.
Absolutely.
And if it doesn't work, then we'll do what we did last year and tighten it up and
Yeah.
then open up the traffic.
Mhm.
Okay.
I do have one comment if I could. I noticed the Happy to Spa people that we approved 2
Yeah.
weeks
The
ago.
massage. Sure.
I was on the street Thursday and sanitation was not there. They weren't changing towels out.
What's the difference? Okay.
So I'd like to make sure that they get reminded they have to follow
Okay,
state board.
yeah, absolutely.
Change those
Good point.
sheets.
New ones or old ones?
Good
We're
catch.
doing it, the new.
The new one that we do at Happy Spa.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they need to change those between every customer.
Yeah, I
Might
didn't get the impression that they understood us when we
I
talked
agree.
about
I
that.
think
Yeah.
maybe I agree.
Yeah.
Before we move off of Main Street Joy, I'd like to maybe talk to you offline about presenting what we decided upon tonight at your next monthly meeting to the merchants and say, hey, here's an opportunity for you.
Well, is it that, or is it more informative? This is what we're doing, and now that's available to you.
Either
rather than
way,
sell it,
either
right?
way.
Yeah.
But
Sure. I
to
think
draw
you guys
them in
think
and
about
say, hey, here's
I'd love to
You are
put you
part
on
of the
the
process.
agenda to explain exactly what
Cause
happened
you can use the
here.
break from all
And
the
you
talking
could,
there.
you could even use his motion,
That's a great idea.
as part of that discussion, but really, and if you want me to put it ahead in writing in the newsletter, I could do that as well.
I'll work with
And
him
I'll keep
offline
it.
and good,
We'll
thank you,
figure it
we'll
out.
do that.
All right.
All right, moving along, recruitment and retention. Mitchell, do you have any? dates?
I've been, speaking to some booth companies that might possibly consider coming out and giving some informative conversations that we could set up for the vendors to attend, maybe once a quarter. That they would be able to see how to do a booth, what assets are available, even the companies can even offer a special price to our vendors if they want to custom make a booth for their
Good.
better displayed. So I'm speaking to those companies now to try and get them in.
Thank you.
I've kind of been trying to do it with David and we haven't been able to really catch up, so I'm just on it.
Thank you.
And when we informed the downtown merchant, team about this new space, we could say, and we already have a vendor that's applied for it, and you're all welcome to apply. So we have already one approved vendor, so it's, so we're being open about it and saying,
Entertainment,
yeah.
it's not a vendor.
Yeah. Good.
I mean, it's important.
We call the entertainment vendors
Well,
too,
we
don't we?
moved on from that.
But I just mean not selling.
Yeah.
stuff.
You don't talk about it anymore?
No,
No, we're done.
We're done with the cards.
You sure that horse is dead?
let's just move on.
She's kicking me under the table.
Oh.
I'm not-
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Joy, Antonio's on here, anything on social
I
media
do
marketing?
have
Yeah.
something on that. So I read in the minutes from the meeting, I wasn't here, that our activity is diminished quite a bit.
That's a participation. I thought that's what Antonio
So,
said. Participation
so I
has
would
gone
just
down.
like to tell you that in accounts reached, we are up 194% from last month.
Is that Facebook or?
This is Instagram.
Instagram.
So what was the number a month and a half ago? So, because if we had
9.9 thousand. In accounts engaged, we're up 185%. And in, content shared, doesn't matter, that just depends on if I'm.
So was he talking about the Facebook page?
Yeah, I don't know. That's all.
I don't think that he has any.
No, no,
access
but
to
what are you
Facebook.
talking
And
about?
also the followers are up by 5%.
Oh, that's good to know.
So if
So-
we tag something Village Fest, does it go onto the Village Fest or is somebody approving it? Is our.
Yes, I
Okay,
am.
You are.
If you tag PS Village, hashtag PS Village Fest, if I'm not sure if they're a vendor, because I mean, I don't want everybody to go on there. They should only be a vendor, maybe in some cases, I mean, I do the city. And then sometimes a merchant if it has to do with Thursday night.
Okay,
So.
so
'cause
if any of
otherwise-
those are, if we're tagging them.
It's going on, I'm gonna see it
Okay.
and I'm gonna share it on the story.
Okay,
And it has to be PS Village Fest? What
It's
about also,
PS Village.
can we
Fest.
also use Village Fest?
I won't see it if
yeah,
you're
it doesn't,
tagging
it
it.
doesn't, the tags, so there's tags that are unique identifiers. So like
So
Facebook,
hashtag,
hashtag.
pound sign,
for instance, if
PS
somebody
Village
writes PS Pride, for instance.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying yours is hashtag PS Village Fest.
that's the name of this account.
Yes,
Yeah.
but if somebody put hashtag Village Fest, you can't have it in the
I
main
wouldn't
city
see
account?
it.
No.
I just wouldn't
Because
see
there's-
it. There's so
people
many
do that.
village fests all over the
Yeah.
country though.
Yeah.
Oh, are there?
Yeah.
All
Okay.
kinds of events,
Okay.
the yearly events and such. So that's our unique identifier
Okay.
on there. So I just want to point that out because I just wasn't seeing the same data. I mean, this is just,
Do our vendors know that? That if they
I
post
put on
online
there-
and if they put hashtag PS
She
Village
finds
Fest?
them and shares them,
Yeah.
so I believe.
Yeah.
Well, she finds it, but do we
Yeah,
inform
because
our
they put
vendors?
hashtag PS Village Fest,
Mhm.
that's how she finds them.
and I
Yes,
put
But how
up,
would I know as a vendor that's PS Village?
I
Fest?
put up a post that says if you're a Village
Yeah.
Fest vendor, tag PS Village
Okay,
Fest.
yeah, okay.
I mean, I don't know how else, there could definitely be other.
Yeah,
I
they-
mean, it
they
would be
ta- they
helpful-
tag her and then she's able to share.
I wonder if
it,
we just
so
want to add one line into the orientation about that.
Yeah, I was thinking
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
Yeah,
I could do that.
I
Yeah.
mean, I look up the social media of everybody that we approve here. I Google them, I try to find them if they have Instagram
So
or
could we ask
Facebook.
them for that information when they apply their hashtags and their social
We
media?
definitely have it.
I think that it is
We
on
do
there
have
now.
it.
It is on the
Okay.
application,
Okay.
but I don't know that they all fill it in.
Good news. Thank you for sharing.
So
that.
it's
That's
super
really
good.
good.
That's like
great
really
news.
good.
Yeah, that's
Especially
great.
for this time of year.
Cheryl, anything on surveying vendors and the project you're working on with the high school?
I mean, sure, just to update everybody, I told the high school this week that we're gonna wait and do this after the new season, in the fall, when the kids are back in school. If you remember, Kirsten, who runs the program, said that all the kids that she had come in to meet with us were juniors, knowing that this would carry into next year. And, I got feedback from a lot of you on the survey, so I just need to incorporate all of that feedback, which I'll do, over the coming weeks. And then once the kids are back at school, we can kick this off. As I said to Greg earlier when I talked to him today, we've waited 32 years, so a few more weeks probably will not have a very detrimental effect. And then ideally, we can go straight into the survey for the attendees of VillageFest, because we said we were going to first talk to vendors and then do attendees. So we will kick it off when the kids are back in school.
Right.
And also to do it in Summer Village Festival, we
Yeah.
it would be a complete day, yeah.
Thank you for that. Before we do staff reports, I just want to mention that Monday night is the city council commission meeting. Did everybody get an invitation? Joy, did you not get an invitation?
I'm
Can you-
not a commissioner.
Can you reach out to Evelyn and see if,
Yeah, for
please?
sure.
I did. I sent her a
Thank you, I
note.
know.
Will you
I know
come
you
if
did.
we?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that the convention center?
Yeah.
It is at the convention center.
Otherwise,
Will it be as good as this?
I'm not, probably not.
I hope everybody can come.
Probably
It'll be
not.
Lynn, won't it?
I'll be
Won't it
there.
Lynn's food?
Yes.
I've
she's
got some
next week.
comments to make and I think it will be fun and I've done my very best to portray Village Fest as being a great event
It
that
is.
is part of the city's heritage.
Yeah.
So I hope everybody can show up for that.
What happens with, does anyone term out this month? This is the month.
Have been renewed.
You have been
Reappointed,
renewed.
yeah.
Okay, so we're whole.
We're whole.
Okay, good.
All right, staff
Not
reports.
human rights.
That was gonna be my staff report. Just reminding everybody.
Dinner.
Way to take away my food
The
staff.
thunder was
I
gone.
left a long time ago.
Well, I'll just say we switched our summer hours, so we are in our
Oh,
summer
great.
hours 7 to 10.
Yeah.
Just to remind everyone.
Crowd's way down. I haven't been.
They are, but people still come out.
Mhm.
I think that a lot of people visit and they want to get out at night because it's hot during the day.
As
so-
soon as that sun goes down.
Yes,
it's-
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah.
Are we dark? When are we dark?
August.
August.
And if
Oh,
anybody is taking vacations, just if you could let us know, because we want to make sure we program and any remaining staff meetings before August around that, so that we have a full board for meetings.
I'm out July 30th to August 29th.
Email
Actually, the
it.
29th.
He'll be in
Oh, yeah.
Laguna Beach.
Mhm. Remember that.
But it's during August, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're
2
good.
days beforehand, yeah.
Before we adjourn, I want to thank the board. We plowed new ground tonight
Mhm.
and it wasn't easy. I think we made a very strong decision. Thank you to Dan for crafting
Yes,
that
Dan,
motion.
thank you.
That was very well written and very thoughtful
And verbose.
and covered a lot of ground.
Yes.
But I want to thank the board for the conversation and doing something new. Yeah.
It was very.
Glad we
well done.
reached a
Thank
good
you.
conclusion.
All right, how about a motion to adjourn?
I make a
wait.
motion that we get out of here.
Do we have a second? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Hi.
Thanks,
Bedtime.
Cheryl.
Bedtime
That
here.
ocean view that you have.
It's pitch black right now, so it'd be
okay.
a little hard to see, but it is. Next time at the beginning of the meeting, I'll sit outside and you'll see that view.
And that's because the
Okay.
world is not flat. That's why it's dark there, yes. exactly.
Thanks, Cheryl.
There's your
Thanks, you
Cheryl.
guys. Thanks for getting this set up for me too. I appreciate it.
Of course.